could have been next to you. And my motions are perpetual. The 38 special, I turn your brains into vegetable. Headshots, only death for you. Sheesh, sheesh. Weight pusher, hump points, great hookers. Hard puncher, hot bars, great hookers. I tuck in the beat, great looker, straight cooker. Where you from? Brownsville, New York, nigga.
My older bitch look like she young, thick something. While I smoke a spliff, she sips something. No kids or nothing, she's funny and dick loving. Her name meant something, used to sell brick to her husband, but fuck it. Walked by the police, had to tug it, young and bucking. Time to get out, the bell wouldn't buzz in. 22 little rusted, but still be busting, screaming and cussing. All you see was niggas leaning and ducking. Sheesh. What the fuck do we have here?
Yikes. It's Curry Low, and we back, nigga.
My young boy,
30s boy, and we strapped, nigga.
What's crack? Let's go. Yeah, I ain't ready for this one. Hey, yo, Tuck. Fuck K.O. Tosh.
Yo, man, work time.
Lost the nation.
Listen, it's the C to the R-I, leave a nigga R-I. P, so I'm a G, so when I creep, nigga, on I. The hottest shit that y'all niggas seen since the sonar. A once in every 10-year average, just like the solar. Eclipse your boy, low-key focus on the next flip. And niggas wonder how I get bread. Take your pick, whether it's fucking with the bricks or I'm switching up shifts. The way I switch up my bitch, that's how I switch up my kicks. But you can catch me in the Ville, nigga, putting in work. Dipping from the D's, niggas on my back like a shirt. A hot boy in the shit, but my name ain't Twerk. But you can catch me in New Jersey dubs, selling that twerk for sure. This a no swag rap era. We should take it back, no snapback era. Do rag, fitted cap, backpack era. No mumble rap or this fake trap rap era. Listen, this a no swag rap era. We should take it back, no snapback era. Do rag, fitted cap, backpack era. No mumble rap or this fake trap rap era. Yo,
hey yo, in the booth, right to the pin break, squeeze the 40, shoot to the pin break, lyrical exercise, rappers better get in shape, schooling you rappers for what my pen state, never been to war, you wasn't Call of Duty, only time you play with guns is playing Call of Duty, I'm the shit, you shit, they used to call you duty, you remind me of a Kim K pick, you all booty, roll a doobie, smoke so much weed, man, the weed man, call me the weed man, dispensaries for my weed plant, my independent ladies say they don't need a man, just a real nigga with a good sex game, long dick style, run down on you niggas like Tyrone, long clip style, pow, they done started with the wrong nigga now, choir singing when the casket lowered down.
This a no swag rap era. We should take it back, no snapback era. Do rag, fitted cap, backpack era. No mumble rap or this fake trap rap era. Listen, this a no swag rap era. We should take it back, no snapback era. Do rag, fitted cap, backpack era. No mumble rap or this fake trap rap era. Yo, that's your shit, Lil. It's my fault.
Yo, y'all still tuned in there? Yes, sir. This is your boy Harlem Smiley, man, and you are tuned in to the one, the only Dirt Gang TV, man. Yes, sir, man. Jet Woos in the building. We in here. So, before we get started, man, because y'all know this is going to be an interesting topic today, and I do apologize. I did have the Bobby Shmurda live set up for today, but I couldn't get full-fledged information that he got out today and not tomorrow. But he will be home tomorrow, so that's what we're going to do it. Other than that, it don't matter what y'all smoking on, man. Whether it's that a indica, a sativa, a hybrid, that Reginald Jennings, the Reggie Miller, the Helping Divisions. That's what we gonna call regular from now on. It's called the Helping Divisions. It don't matter whether you rolling out of a Dutch, a Backwood, a Swisher Sweet, a Whiteout, a Philly, the Bong, Papers, Fonto, with the raw paper, of course, or with the Bob Marley paper, man. If y'all add that grapper, keep that to yourself, man. Just don't pass me that shit. It's time for y'all to sync up, chat. All the Wrench Gang members, we in here, man. Light us up. So yeah. A lot of people don't realize, right? When you talk about gangs, and let me drop this link, because I am gonna have people coming up here from different parts of the parts of the areas we talking about in here. So people, for the most part, right? Because New Jersey and New York is very close together. So people feel like people in Jersey and New York, they get mixed up a lot of times as far as like, even not even from a gang aspect, just from like a regular everyday aspect, they get mixed up with New Yorkers a lot. So a lot of people think what goes on gang-wise in Jersey actually goes on gang-wise in New York. That's not true. California, there's a lot of people in California that feel like these East Coast states are fake. So we're gonna just use that word. We ain't gonna sugarcoat it. Or let's just say or unsanctioned. We're gonna use that word, unsanctioned, because they didn't get put on in LA. And it's not just about the New York and the East Coast states. They feel like that in a lot of different states too. Franz Poe, what's the good word, son?
What's goody, broski?
Ain't shit,
chilling. Syncing up. Early
yeah,
in the
you know how that go, man. That's a fact. Yeah, it's still AM out here for me and Franz Poe. Shit, you know what I'm saying? So I know a lot of y'all watching, y'all on the what's the name, man. Y'all
I ain't even make it home yet. I ain't even been to sleep yet. I'm still
that's a fact, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? So
what's this on topics of gangs? As a neutral nigga, I ain't got
Nah, you good though, but you got a lot of insight. Yeah, you got a lot of insight, but that's what we be needing too. We can't have just all, so-called just as far as all members up here. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, we got a couple of people that's gonna pop up through the course of this too. So there's a lot of people in California that feels like if you're not Crip or Blood and from LA, that you're really not Crip or Blood at all. So they feel like that about other places in California, other cities in California. So you should already know how they feel about the East Coast ones. So when they look at it, they look at New York and New Jersey as the same thing when it comes to gang banging. Good. What you about to say?
The only thing is, I was about to say, like, not just because I'm from Jersey, but I've seen Cali niggas give more praise towards Jersey as opposed to New York.
Yeah, but it's Cali the ones that go back and forth though. That's what we're gonna get into. Don't go that far yet, though. I know what you're about to get into. My bad. We just giving them a little summary right now of pretty much,
long story short, they definitely ain't feeling that. Like, that shit ain't over there.
But Fonz Poe, we're gonna tell them the reason why people in California shouldn't really think about that, because believe it or not, this we gonna get at a lot of shit from Jersey, even those on the East Coast of New York, way bigger of a connection with LA than they do New York. But it's like, how can you have a bigger connection somewhere 3,000 miles away versus somewhere that's 45 minutes away? You see what I'm saying? But
the simple answer to that is Cali probably look at us more as equals as opposed to New York look at everywhere as down. They look down on everything. Like, no offense to my New York niggas, y'all know I fuck with y'all heavy.
Yeah, no, I got it. But
down on shit. Like how North niggas, we look down on every other thing else besides North. Like, nothing.
But do you realize there's a lot of Crips and Bloods in New Jersey in New York that think Jersey go by the New York way? Because it's a lot of but you got to realize too. Let's be honest. Like, you get a lot of people from Jersey come to New York a lot, but it's not vice versa though. You don't get a whole heap of people from New York just going to Jersey. You see what I'm saying? Unless they doing something like Six Flags or like Atlantic City or going to fucking watch one of the football games or some shit like that. But if you don't got family in Jersey, you not going to Jersey for no particular reason, to where it's like y'all in Jersey got a lot of reasons to come to New York City. You see what I'm saying? So
Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Yeah, it's mad shit. You see what I'm saying? But it's like
I feel what you're saying. Like, I would literally go sit a crate on the corner of 125th and Broadway and talk to bitches all day, as opposed to you're not going to Jersey to do that. No way. Ain't no New York nigga gonna be like, I mean,
that's
like
a fact.
You know what's in Jersey.
And you know what's crazy? And if you out there, they're not even gonna look at this nigga like, oh, he a Jersey nigga. They'll probably think you're a New Yorker, but if a New Yorker come to Jersey, Yeah, you see what I'm saying? New Yorkers in New Jersey are kind of a little bit out of place. You could just hear from the lingo that he'll be using that, all right, maybe he gonna be from the city. You see what I'm saying? If that makes sense. We know that because, I got family in Newark. You see what I'm saying? So, I know a little bit about Jersey, but I don't know fucking 10% of what you niggas know about Jersey. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's a difference.
Vice versa.
And even with Chicago, people don't realize New York, especially in the past, had their biggest gang influence, and the rules they followed was pretty much Chicago shit. You see what I'm saying? So,
well, what you mean? Like before they adopted the Bloods and Crips shit?
No, I'm talking about as far as when the Bloods and Crips shit first started, as far as like the 5-point star, 6-point star shit, the GDs being out there, Latin Kings, because people don't even realize.
Keep it gutter. The nigga, fucking OG Mac, he just grabbed shit from everywhere. He took a little Monster Cody, he took a little bit of this, took a little bit of that, and was like, "This is what I got."
Yeah, listen, that's definitely that's definitely one to be debated. You see what I'm saying? So let's get into these actual places and how they connect with each other, right? So what I want to do is I want to start out with Chicago, because a lot of places, they don't realize the impact that Chicago had on New York. And when you think of Chicago gangs, I hear a lot of people say, well, how the fuck did the Chicago gangs get to New York? And how did the LA gangs get to New York? Even when New York had their own gangs on top of that. But yeah, listen, part of what we were saying, OG Mac was a starter. We're gonna get it to we're gonna go to Chicago first. Let's go to Chicago, then we're gonna go to New York.
Okay.
So in Chicago, right? You have, I would say, 5 major gangs in Chicago. There's a lot of other gangs, there's a lot of other subsets. You have 5 major gangs in Chicago. You have GDs.
Let me try to name them. GDs, Four Corner Hustlers, Vice Lords. No, Four Corner Hustlers, not one of the
names? Nah.
Hold on, BD, GD. All right, I'm lost. Go ahead.
You have 4.
I lost. We have to. Okay, GDs, Insane, Vice Lord. It got to be Latin Kings, like one of the Latin gangs.
Who's the 5th one? I'll give you a hint. In some states, they Bloods. In some states, they just rep the 5-point star.
Oh, the nigga, the T. Roger nigga.
Correct. The P Stones, man. The Black P Stones, man.
There we go.
So, and once again, you do got other stuff. Like, I would probably give the Four Corner Hustlers, I would probably give them like the 6th Man of the Year award if there was
like honorable mention.
Yeah, shit like that. You see what I'm saying? But when you talk about 5 major gangs, that's what you talk about. So the Latin Kings.
Do you think Chicago's the only place the Latin Kings still got a strong foothold?
Now, I will actually say that the stronghold was stronger in New York than it was in Chicago.
No, I'm saying as of now. I know back then they had shit on lock, but I'm saying as of now. Do you think like they still got more of a name than they do out here?
It's so much other shit that's coming up out there. Same thing like in New York, where you got like the Trinitarios that came up too and made the Latin King numbers deplete. So, or decrease, I should say. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing going on in Chicago. It's like you got other stuff. Once they had that split and you had people going on the BD side, people going on the GD side, those shits kind of exploded like that. Like even Vice Lords numbers not as strong as they used to be. But the only difference with Vice Lords is you got a lot of Vice Lords in like different places right now, like St. Louis and shit. You see what I'm saying?
Why does Vice Lord have so many subsets, like Insane Vice Lord, Traveling Vice Lord, like?
I ain't even gonna lie. I'm gonna have to actually get a Vice Lord up here to answer that question because I don't know why they got so many like subsets. But I mean, people think that about the Crips too, as far as like that. With the Crips and Bloods and shit in LA, it's blocks. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's different shit like that. It's just like blocks and all that shit. But
yeah.
When you talk about as far as like, as far as the Vice Lords, they got mad subsets. The GDs got some subsets too. So do the BDs. It's a lot of shit in Chicago. Yeah, they got like Spanish. It's mad shit. It's Spanish disciples. It's mad shit on there.
I heard about the Latin disciples.
Latin disciples. It's mad shit. It's mad shit out there. That's what I'm saying. But when we talk about major gangs, though, you're talking about those 5 major gangs. So boom, let's connect those now. Let's connect those 5 major gangs, right? Because listen, people don't realize Forget, we're not talking about LA, New York, now. Chicago was the first place to have major gangs. We talking about Chicago gangs go back to like 50, 60 time, major gangs. You see what I'm saying? To LA will probably be number 2 with them coming into it the late 60s, early 70s.
What about
You see
gangs
what I'm
in New
saying?
York? It depicted that gangs been in New York.
That's why I use the words
coming.
major. That's why I use the words major. Like in
Okay.
New York, right? Before Bloods and Crips hit out there, I would probably like they had so much different stuff. Like you had the Lost Boys and Queens, you had like LNW, yeah, you had LNWs and like Harlem and all that. It was a bunch of shit out there. FTW,
Okay.
fuck the world, you know. But when you talk about major,
remember Stick Up Kids was out.
That's a fact. But when you talk about major gangs in New York, you had the Decepticons and you had like the Lolas. That was like the major gangs in like, but we talking about after the dancing crews and all that shit. You see what I'm saying? So they was gangs. I'm gonna be honest.
Were the breaking crews considered gangs? I mean, they was fighting and shit.
Yeah, they was. Technically they was. But you talking about organized gangs that had like rules and laws and had leaders and all that shit. You see what I'm saying? So, it was just a different. Tanya Iverson, how you doing, my dear?
Doing good, and you?
I'm good. I can't complain. Just up here trying to, connect the dots for a lot of people on the outside looking in because, me being from New York and living in California and, like connecting all of these dots, I'm just trying to let people know how each state had each influence on the difference and connections too. But you got anything you want to input to the situation real quick?
Yeah, I want before you start when you connecting the dots, I wanted to go back to the origin, which was the Black Panthers.
Okay.
Okay. So the Black Panthers started off, they wanted to create, of course, protect their community, like have lunch programs or whatever. We know the feds came in and took them out. Then when the Crips started, Tukey, whatever his name is, when they started, they were going to try to carry on the same agenda that the Black Panthers had. So I just want people to know that because people always looked at gangs in a negative way, but their first agenda was to protect the Black community, just like the Italians used the mafia to protect the Italians from the police or whatever, or outsiders. That's what the purpose of the gangs started off with at first.
Yeah, so, and the crazy part about it is people don't even realize too, when the Crips actually took over to start doing that too, and there was a lot of them that wasn't doing that. So that's kind of how the whole Blood Nation even got started, because it was still people that was in the Crips that was still trying to go by the way the Black Panther movement started. So they wasn't doing that. They was doing the exact opposite. So those people branched off and was like, listen, they're not doing the right way. We're going to do our own thing. You see what I'm saying? But even when the Bloods branched off, it didn't end up being like that. It just ended up being two different crews that end up going at each other. But same thing, the Crips originally started was to finish what the Black Panther started. The Bloods started from the Crips trying to do the same thing that they were supposed to do, but nobody never got around to actually, just doing it like that. And then shit just got misconstrued and shit just got mixed up, for the most part on there. But yeah, that's why I try to tell people too, there's a lot of connections, that people don't even realize too. So let's jump back to Chicago real quick, as far as, because they was doing this in Chicago, 50s and stuff like that too, but it was more organized. So when you look at the gangs like the Latin Kings, you look at the gang like the Latin Kings and stuff, they came out of Chicago. A lot of people in New York don't realize that, off the Tanya is telling me you got to connect your mic before you come back in. Try to go out and come back in. I'm gonna drop the link one more time.
Okay, quick interjection again. What do you think? What do you think was the first like real street gang? I mean, are you just referring to urban or like
like you talking about as far as like if you talking about as far as current street gangs right now?
No, I'm saying in general, in the history of man, that you could put your finger on, like this was the first gang that was on some We marked
I
our
can't.
territory.
I can't say what the gang was, but I could probably say where the first major gang started at. First one was probably Chicago,
Okay, yeah.
in my
All right, so
opinion.
what about like with the gangs in New York? You seen that movie before, right? Gangs in New
That's a
York,
fact.
and they
That's
had all
like
those
old. The
different.
old. You
Yeah, but so
had
weren't they? So there were
you
gangs
had
then, and at
they
one
was
point.
considered mobsters, son. It was a difference in New York. You had
No.
mobsters in New.
I'm
Yeah,
saying, I'm saying when immigrants was coming, when they had Irish gangs, when they had fucking Chinese gangs, when each race had damn near their own set of gangs.
yeah.
Like, so
You
that was
had the
considered
Asian
gangs
niggas
back
had the
then.
flying dragons and all that shit.
Hmm.
Yeah, and especially in New York. You find a lot of different shit in Queens. You find MS-13, you find Mexican gangs, Asian gangs, black, yeah. But if we talking about like the origin, like original first gangs, to
Uh-huh.
my knowledge, I couldn't tell you what the first gang. Like I'm not gonna say the Crips was the first gang. No, and there was shit in Chicago going before that. I'm not gonna say like the People's Nation was the first one out there. I'm not gonna say the Black Panthers was the first gang because I really didn't consider them a gang. You see what I'm
Yeah, I wouldn't
saying? You
consider them
know,
a gang at all. That
yeah.
was a
You see,
movement for the
so
people, if anything.
yeah, so that's why I say it's like I could tell you, I can probably tell you where, because they was doing this shit as far as in Chicago for a while. Hence the reason why in the 90s, the Latin Kings already had the jails on lock in New York already. You see what I'm saying? So think about it, right? Blood started in 93 in New York.
Uh-huh.
Latin Kings had the jails on lock. Remember, the whole reason why that even started was the pretty much fight
The
against the
oppression.
Latin Kings kind of ordeal. Yeah, exactly. So Latin Kings came from Chicago to New York, and it takes time to migrate and get jails on lock and all that shit. You see what I'm saying? So Latin Kings been in New York, but they came from Chicago for a while. So that's one influence on how Chicago had influence through New York. Once again, I'm not going to stay here and talk about a lot of King knowledge. It's a lot of stuff out there. King Tone. It's a lot of stuff out there with all that shit and all that. So you look into that and you can pretty much, for the most part, summarize on how stuff got started out here. But there's a direct connection with the Latin Kings in Chicago and the same thing with LA. I mean, the same thing in New York. I'm sorry. So you got to look at Maybach Mel. What's the good word?
What's good? What's
Yo,
good?
Ebony's
What's
funny
good,
as
man?
hell too, yo. I
What's
hate
So
good,
you got
Boss
to.
Cole?
What's goody, broski? How you?
So
All
it's
right,
like,
all right.
yeah. So you got to really think. In Chicago, people know about the GDs and the Vice Lords not liking each other. They know about the GDs and the BDs had the big split. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But people don't realize like one of the biggest, like, especially like early too, 90s and all that, 80s, the biggest like fucking bout was between the Latin Kings and the folks. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of GD meanings that they got. We're not gonna get into it.
Hold on, are the Kings considered people? Are the
They
Kings
5-point
people
star,
nation?
correct? Yeah, they 5-point
Okay.
star. So
Okay.
a lot of the
Getting-
GD stuff
Getting my
they
gang
have,
knowledge up.
a lot of they this is actually towards Latin Kings, and not really towards like they got shit disrespecting Vice Lords, but a lot of they shit is disrespecting Latin Kings. So you got to realize when you start something somewhere and they have an opposition or they have like enemies, they're always gonna follow. It don't matter what state, what city. If you start Bloods here, Crips is gonna follow a couple of years down the line because they probably was there already. But once again, if you start Crips somewhere, Bloods is gonna follow. So I tell people all the time, GD's been in New York for a long time. You see what I'm saying? It's just when you look at New York borough-wise, right? A lot of the Latin Kings is in the Bronx and in Manhattan. A lot of the GDs is in Brooklyn and Queens. So they wasn't really doing that cross path shit like that. You see what I'm saying? The crazy part is like us being Crips and in the young early 90s, mid 90s, kind of was the reason, that they even knew that each other even existed in New York City. You see what I'm saying? So, but Maybach Mel, I want you to before I even go any further, I want you to get some input on it. Then I'll let Tanya go too.
No, I was gonna say, Chicago has a lot of big influence on NY. No, they do. I mean, with Black Panther Party, like Miss Tanya was saying earlier,
Tanya, you
and
can't
stuff
hear
like
Tanya?
you can't hear.
Go ahead, Maybach.
Yeah, no, I was saying that you are right. Chicago does have a big influence, and as far as Poe was asking too, I seen that same thing that he was talking about with gangs in New York, and it was like sort of the Irish. It was one of the first ones. I don't know as far as what they saying, you know, it's the Irish, but nah, you're right. You're right about what you're saying. Everything, you know what I'm saying? What you talking about with the four corner hustlers? They do have a big influence. You know what I'm saying? The 5 Point Star, all of that. So
That's a
yeah,
fact.
it's just like the same thing before the split with the BDs and the GDs when there was black gangster disciples. You know, nah, you're
The
right, bro.
BGDs, and I try to tell people, man, even in the 90s, a lot of them too was running around there too. They was BGDs. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't like they was saying they was GDs. They was BGDs.
Yeah,
That's why because when we used to tag that shit up all the time, you see what I'm saying? And it's crazy. And
And
that's
that's
where it
Black
goes
Gangster
to,
Disciple.
yeah,
yeah,
that's a fact. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
Okay,
So
gotcha.
it's like, it's almost like they did the same thing the Crips did when certain people turned blood and they had Crips and Bloods. It just split, but they didn't keep the name BGD. It just split between
yeah,
BDs and then you had GDs. So it's like they almost like each took a letter. If that makes sense. You see what I'm
right.
saying? But
I'm thinking the
yeah,
T.
and then they just you see what I'm saying? It's just don't fuck with each other at all. But once upon a time, they was like it was all one. But
Yeah,
when
And
it
you
was
know what's
all
crazy,
one, it
Smiley?
was
I
like
was
Black
gonna
Kings
ask.
was good.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go
My
ahead, go ahead.
volume is
I was
messed
gonna
up.
ask like
Sorry.
how
Tanya, if
there's
you can
there's
hear us, we can hear you, Tanya. If you can hear us, we can hear you.
Let me try to come
it's
back
like I
in.
was going. Okay. All right, she's okay. All right.
Go ahead,
I was
Paul.
gonna say like, how the fuck did the BDs and if it was first against the Latin Kings, how they started beefing with each other, the BDs and GDs. But then I thought about it like when I was in Chicago, the Puerto Rican people don't leave the motherfucking East Side, whatever that is, North Side, and they sure as hell don't. The black people don't go over there, so I guess they had nobody else to fight.
Yeah, it's you know what it is though too because they had enemies. They had when it was all one. They had the vice lords as their enemies, and they had
exactly,
the Latin Kings as their enemies.
exactly.
So yeah, they had other like it was weird. It was like the area that they was in. They wasn't. You didn't hear too much conflict about them getting into it with the Peace Stones. You see what I'm saying? But as far as like they main enemies though, it was the Latin Kings and then the Vice Lords after that. But
Yeah,
in Chicago, it was weird because from what I've told, it was really no big gang alliances. You see what I'm saying? Like the Vice Lords couldn't go run and get the Black Peace Stones if they got into shit with the BGDs. You see what I'm saying? The Latin
Yeah.
Kings couldn't go get nobody because like literally they was like the only, I would say they was the only Spanish ones of the factor. That's why you see a lot of these different Spanish factors
But it's a
in these
lot of
different.
Spanish gangs out there. Satan
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
disciples, Satan's
It's a
babies,
lot.
all this goofy shit.
Yep.
Disciple
So then
babies.
you got to realize how big Latin King was in New York, especially through the 90s and shit. Think about how big they was in Chicago. That's the origin. That's where they came from.
yeah,
So, so that's why I say it's like when the Latin Kings came over here, of course their enemies was going to come to New York. That's what happens all the time. So it's like now you got Latin Kings from Chicago over here killing the jails. You see what I'm saying? They rocking band. They wearing colors. They got yellow. They wearing gold. You see what I'm saying? Like they're wearing colors. You see what I'm saying? They're the first person who even though they call that shit a crown, but that's the first time I actually heard somebody actually using like stars and the 5-point crown that actually had a meaning to it. You see what I'm saying? And all that shit. So when the GDs came to New York, what are they talking about? The exact opposite. The 6-point star. You see what I'm saying? We don't rock with
So how
with
the Bloods and Crips
Kings.
adapt this? Okay, never mind.
This is where we get that. You see what I'm saying? This is why I try to tell you opposites attract. Opposites always attract. You see what I'm saying?
and everybody want to create as well too. And
That's a
because I
fact.
know what Fonz Poe was about to ask you, because it is crazy. The question he was about to ask, where he was gonna that he didn't get to finish because he wanted to let you talk. I know where he was going with that question too.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand how the Bloods adapt that and the Crips adapt that as well too. How they implement that, the 5-point star and the 6-point star. Like how you implement something that's from something else, from a different origin, and you take it and put it in yours now.
Correct. And this is where 1993 comes into the play. And that was the purpose of part of that story, was to tell people that opposites always attract. Once again, I don't give a fuck if you in Kansas. If you start a blood set in Kansas, eventually you're going to get Crips that's going to follow. So what happened was, in 1993, you get the blood started. Whether, and you know, Fonz Poe got a lot of strong, comments on the whole Omar Porti thing, whether he took the shit directly out of the Monster Cody book, whether
man,
he
the nigga
just,
made up shit, man. He took pieces from here and there, man.
Yeah.
Nigga spent 2 summers in California, some fucking where. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Again.
Fact.
Yo, Popcorn, what's the good word, son? You know, I definitely need you to hit that link.
Look at these pussy ass police out here. Y'all suck every inch of my dick. My bad. I hate this.
Yeah. So with that being said, it's like 1993 come, right? The Bloods in New York never had no intentions of being Bloods in New York. Why the fuck is it keep saying people? Okay. Why does it keep saying device not connected? All right, there you go. Popcorn, I can hear you. What's the good word? Let me just get this thought out real quick, and I'm gonna go right to you. In 1993, the Bloods pretty much for the most part, Rikers Island. If you was a black guy in there, and it was already rough in there for the Muslims as is. The Latin Kings had a lot of these. The Latin Kings had a lot of the buildings in Rikers Island on lock. If y'all not familiar with Rikers Island, Rikers Island is probably, I would probably say, the most dangerous county jail in the United States. County jail, not like jail period, prison. We talking about county jail. It's many different buildings. It's an island. Literally, it's an island. Rikers Island has 0 escapes. The shit is an island. You got to cross a big ass bridge to get over there. The bridge is like you're not escaping from Rikers Island. You see what I'm saying? So it gets crazy over there. So,
Rabbit escaped from
Rikers Island? Oh, okay.
Rabbit.
I might have looked that up though. Rabbit?
Black guy too. Yeah.
Damn. Yo, you know what's crazy? I wouldn't even take an attempt to even swim in that water, son. I know he had malaria and all kinds, but anyway.
Hell to the no.
Yeah, that's a fact. Hell, not that. Hell no.
I'm doing my bid, nigga. I don't give a fuck niggas raping, killing, doing whatever. Nigga, I'm staying here. Fuck you talking about? I ain't going out there.
That's a fact. I'm saying, like, nah, I can't do that. Not that water. Sharks don't even swim in that water. Like, they like, nah, I'm good on this water. I'm gonna go back to the clean water. But fucking
Time out. You never seen the shit on Rikers Island where the nigga, the little short black dude, he had the mittens on. He was like, man, I escaped me 2 times. He had the black sunglasses on. You had to see that one, man.
Hold on. Now I'm ready to almost look that shit up and play that shit. See what I'm saying? But Rikers Island is like it's a very big facility. It's many different buildings in there. So the Latin Kings had a lot of that on lock. So, if you was black, it was hard for you to pretty much eat in jail, talk on phones in jail. They trying to stall you on business, because if you get into a problem with somebody, they try to come steal your shit, Fonz Poe. But it's just you, because the other black niggas, it's not, we don't got no unity and no shit like that, but they got a unity. So you get into it with the little Spanish Latin King dude, but he go get like 6, 7 other Latin Kings. You see what I'm saying? It's like, now you outnumbered.
Been there, done that. Been there, done that. Down Annandale, they got changed to Puerto Rican people TV, nigga. I ain't want to watch sports. I wanted to watch something else. And they gave me the one-on-one. They gave me the one-on-one though. They knew what it was. Even though I wasn't, I'm neutral, but I knew a lot of niggas down there. And they already knew it was gonna be a problem if they was jumping. They gave me the one-on-one, and I whipped Poppy ass too.
Hey, the TV though, that's down there everywhere. Niggas fight over channels, but I couldn't imagine.
That's the only fight I ever had in jail. My dumb ass started.
I couldn't imagine, because I be hearing the Rikers Island stories about the phones and shit. I couldn't imagine niggas confronting me like, oh, you can't use the phone, or you got to use it this time, or you got to get off the phone. I couldn't imagine that shit, my nigga.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest too. When like Rikers Island, like I'd have been locked up other places like on Long Island and upstate, to where TV matters. But when you in the big ass dome on Rikers Island and all that too, it's like it's so much more other shit to worry about. I ain't gonna lie, like I wasn't to get comfortable.
It only matter in county. Like it don't matter in prison.
Yeah,
TV don't matter in
yeah.
prison. That's only county shit.
Yeah, it was a difference, especially when you up there too.
You got your own
before they used to
TV
get
in
their little
prison.
TVs in their own room and shit. Yeah. So basically,
Yeah.
what happened was, with the '93 shit, the Bloods needed to form something. Not the Bloods, then the black people needed to form something to where if shit went down like that, they can be like, let me go get this group of people. It just so happened there was a dude in there, that knew a little bit of something about as far as like getting black people up. As far as a coalition, like, listen, they got this, but I know something about this called the Bloods. You see what I'm saying? So listen, let's be for real.
It's crazy though. Before the Bloods, niggas was just becoming Muslim because they was acting like Muslims was a gang.
Yeah, but the Lad Kings were
motherfuckers
smashing the Muslims out because you got to realize the Muslims they're non-confrontational. You see what I'm saying?
I don't know. You got them Sunni Muslims. They got the Muslims
to a certain extent.
I don't know, bro.
Listen, so I'm trying to once again, they're not gonna. If I'm just walking down the street, a Muslim now out of nowhere be like, oh shit, I know him on YouTube. And nah. I'm telling you, but if you try to go approach them on defense, yes. On defense, they're not gonna sit there and let you do no stupid shit like that. When I say non-confrontational, that means they're not starting the confrontation. They're not gonna come up to you just gonna start no confrontation. So what I'm saying is it wasn't like the Muslims was getting together and was like, yo, they did this to the person last week. Let's go ride on them tomorrow. Nah, that would be confrontational, but they will be prepared. They will be prepared. They see these niggas rallying up, grouping up. All right, cool. You see what I'm saying? So when I say that too, it was a lot of them though.
You know what the most time I seen them fight for? When they call in prayer, they calling for prayer, get it 5 minutes. Everybody turn the TV down, so shut the fuck up. But it always be some Latin Kings start popping shit. Yeah, Papa, ain't nobody in that rice and beans shit right now, bro.
That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no. Nah, you good, but they don't have no rules and morals and shit that they going by as far as the Latin Kings in the 90s in jail. So all they doing is trying to run shit. So once again, if it's somebody that comes to you and say if you the rah-rah person, you ain't trying to, you want to go ride on these niggas, but you rocking with the Muslims and the Muslims say you like chill, we don't do it like that. If it happens, then it happens. But other than that, we not starting the conflict, but you want to go the other way and nigga come up talking about some blood stuff. You're gonna run with that. You see what I'm saying? So at this time, I want to let y'all elaborate on some stuff before we even move further.
Is it okay for me to talk about the East Coast since it seems like I can't stay on?
Go ahead, Tanya.
I just want to say, like, I'm in the DMV area, and what really took over the largest here is MS-13, and what people didn't understand is they came from El Salvador to escape the Civil War, so a lot of their tool that they use is machete. So here you find a lot of bodies like missing a head or they missing arms, whatever. But the thing about it is a lot of the Latinos, they have the cartels backing them. So when you doing politics like in prison or whatever, it's about who got the money. And the cartel, back them. I mean, unfortunately, I was surprised to even see how it's like they came in, they swooped up, and like they just running everything. I mean, I would even when the Africans came in our area, because the Nigerians have their own thing too. But it's like nobody can really do anything with the Latino gangs, and I think because they have the cartels backing them.
Yeah, no, that's
maybe where you at, but not on the east, not in Jersey.
Man,
they not winning over there. Niggas don't give a fuck. We retarded. Stupid. I ain't trying to hear that.
In Cali, they do whatever they want to do in Cali, but
my bad. Popcorn was goody, broski.
What up, Fonz, Paul? But I think it depends on where you at. That's all it is. Because we don't have. What up?
No, go ahead, bro. You good?
I said we don't have those problems with MS-13s and shit. I grew up like I beat the shit out of MS-13, dude. I closed his eye, closed this shit shut for playing with me. You know what I'm saying? Like it just depends. And then you hear these New York dudes say they Bloods run the prison. I mean, like they prison system and jail system in New York. They don't have them problems with the Mexicans and shit. I'm sure it's Mexicans up on the East Coast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
But
guess
what the problems was too, it wasn't really with the Mexicans. I'm gonna be honest. Like you'll find MS-13s in New York, but they in Long Island and they in Queens. They're not really spread out like that. But like
Half of them white.
like yeah. But I live in California right now. Like you wouldn't make it like 5-6 blocks talking that shit because all the dispensaries and all that shit out here, all that shit be owned by the Mexican cartels. It's a difference when you talk about the MS-13s.
Right.
That's where she at because she's down there where the MS-13s at. They have cartels over there.
Yeah.
So there'd be a difference. Like their choice of weapon is machetes. Not that they can't get guns. That's their choice of weapon. Like the Cubans, that's their choice of weapon. They do that shit on purpose.
And that's what people, the thing that I'm glad you're breaking it down like that because people always just call them Mexicans. No, the Mexicans are not the same as the El Salvadorians. The El Salvadorians, like I said, they are trained soldiers. They came here like as refugees to get away from civil war. So when they come over here, they've been at war. The same thing. Any refugees that you have come from other countries, some people have been trained like soldiers. They've been fighting already. So they bring that same war tactics here to the street. So,
but you know what, Popcorn? I see what you said.
That's a whole different thing.
It's a whole thing. I'm telling you, that shit be crazy. You know what it is, Tanya? The Trinitarios in New York is actually like it's crazy because they move how like the MS-13 move too. They do that. Yeah, they do that. They do
machetes.
They use that machete shit. It's crazy.
That's why I said people come up when things happen here. People they dismember people, their body parts. That's how they do stuff.
Yeah. Yo, Popcorn. How was the? I'm sorry, Tanya. Popcorn. Because it's crazy. Her being in the DMV area, you being in Chicago. It's like she's more to the south, but you're more in the Midwest. What is what's the Spanish gangs out there in Chicago? As far as their impact, is the Latin Kings like the biggest Spanish gang out there, or is there others?
Yeah, Latin Kings is the biggest. They're the biggest and they're the most hated. GDs and Latin Kings, but as far as Latino Latin Kings and shit, they the old Latin Kings been around like since the 40s or the 50s or some shit like that.
So I was just telling them about.
It's weird because like when you like in this segment of YouTube, people when they think Latin King, they think of New York, but that shit started in Chicago, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They're everywhere. I'm in Boston. They in Boston.
Yep, they everywhere. Yeah, they everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit like the folks? Because I was surprised when we started seeing them in the DMV area. Where did they come from? Chicago?
GD, like the Chicago. Folks, GD, that's Chicago, Gangster Disciple. When you hear Larry Hoover, that's their leader and chairman, Larry Hoover.
Okay.
Before the split.
But you got Folks Nation and People Nation. Folks Nation is like GDs, which are Gangster Disciples, BDs, which are Black Disciples, and a bunch of other disciples. A lot of them gangs got disciples in their name and shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And you got the Black gangsters, just they call them new breed nowadays and shit. And the people, and that's the thing with the Folk Nation, they all under the 6-point star. You can be in a different gang, but typically they fall under the 6-point star. Now the People Nation,
Smiley was touching on that earlier. Yep.
Yeah, the People's Nation fall under the 5-point star, and typically they're Muslims. You know what I mean? They like vice lords and they don't eat pork and they try not to litter and all of that shit, and you know, talk about Allah and you know.
Popcorn, and stop right there. And Maybach Mel, and that's the whole reason why we get to that. So now you got to realize there was a lot of dudes in the New York jail system, right, on Rikers Island. That was, remember, we were talking about they was following the Muslims and stuff, but they wanted to still do what they're doing, but they wanted to attack. So now if it's somebody who's coming to you, telling you about the blood stuff, but he's bringing the same thing Popcorn talking about, the People Nation stuff, as far as like, you know, you can say if somebody come to you and be like, we gonna still live by the same, you know, bylaws they living by. You got to realize a lot of the older bloods, they either was guard body, they was you know, they was Muslim, so a lot of them don't eat pork. You see what I'm saying? You know, I got a lot of older cousins like they don't eat pork and stuff like that. They still, a lot of them is Muslim, but they bloods. You see what I'm saying? So it's like now, and I know this is the big contradiction I know what a lot of people think is they can't be real Muslim, they can't be blood, but at the same time, this was a way in jail for them to actually live their life right, but still want to get back to people. Because if somebody ran down on me, robbed me, took all my shit in jail, I'm probably gonna want to get back at them neither. But I ain't gonna be stupid. Dude, it's 20 of them that robbed me. I'm not about to just go try to run over there. Nah, you gonna get jigged up. You see what I'm saying? So if this was a way for me to get back, boom. This is why this guy Omar Portiz was just so, it was like important on how that whole shit started and how the Bloods and Crips pretty much got to the what's name, but he's a real big reason of why the whole shit got mixed up, because he got a lot of the People Nation shit mixed up with the blood shit. Go ahead, Popcorn.
But another reason for like it seems like they Muslims and shit, because a lot of people don't know OG Mac was a guy body, like 5%er. A lot of the 5%ers turned Bloods. So when they was writing the teachings and the lessons and shit, they incorporated some of those teachings, you know, the stuff you talking about, pork and all of that stuff, you know what I mean? But the 5-point start came from T. Rogers. T. Rogers, BPS, Black P Stone, out in California. But when he left Chicago, see, the Stones started in Chicago. He left Chicago when he was like 11 or 12 and moved to LA. And he took the teachings and shit out there, the pyramid, the 5-point star. And they got under the Blood Alliance. So a lot of people be confused, like, hold on, a lot of people like, don't Stones, yeah, you're right, they are from Chicago. But they also
and not to cut you off too.
What up?
Crips do the same thing too. There's P Stone Crips too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I never heard of that.
Shmurda and them, P Stone.
They G Stone. They G Stone. You good. Now I had to think. I said, you know why? Shit, me and Popcorn was talking about the eight tray Hoovers, and I told that nigga, nah, ain't no shit. It's an 8-tray Hoover, all right. But yeah, Popcorn, I apologize, sir. I couldn't believe that shit. I almost jumped out my skin. That's some newer shit. But made back man, don't worry. I did the same shit on Popcorn shit yesterday. Word up.
Yeah, it happens, bro. It's so many gangs, bro. Like I thought Gear Gang was some fake shit. You know what I mean? I was like, that must have came from New York. I didn't know Gear Gang is out in like Gear Gang.
Gear Gang that's a LA shit. That's not New York. But they do got gear. They had Gear Gangs in New York though. But that's in LA
Ohio.
Shit.
They got them in Ohio, and I'm like, what? They must have got influenced by New York gangs. But
see, it's the teachings. To me, it's just the teachings. They taken from other cliques, but it's, you know what I'm saying? They flagging something different. Just a different color.
Yeah. Hey, let me get back to the OG Mac shit though. So a lot of these Bloods, if you do your research or if you watch these interviews, when they do this homegrown, when they get to making up shit, they usually reach out to T. Rogers, because you know T. Rogers, he's like the spokesman for, you know, he do a lot of peace treaties and shit like that, like, you know, representation for the Bloods, and that's who they usually get on the phone with. And like I said, he's a peace stone. So when he get under permission or they in touch with him and they feel like that's enough for them to go start their own shit, they do the 5-point start shit. Go watch the Tax Stone interview. He was like, yeah, I was talking to T. Rogers. They gave us the go-ahead, him and some Pirus. So that's how OG Mac incorporated the 5-point star in it. So it's Chicago shit, you know, ultimately. But
so, and this is one big thing me and Popcorn was talking about. So him, right? OG Mac having familiarity with LA, seeing that there was actually Black P Stone Bloods in LA, but talking to T. Rogers about the same Black P Stone, what he thought was the same Black P Stone shit, but the Black P Stones in Chicago don't rep blood. Let me get this. Let me make sure everybody hear this. There is a Black P Stone in LA that there are Black P Stones, but they rep blood.
They rep blood.
They're the Black P Stones in Chicago, which is the original Black P Stones. Do not rep blood, but they rep the People's Nation, the 5-point star.
Yep.
So now, do you get where the whole OG Mac and the whole confusion shit, it's almost like he tried to combine the blood shit, Black P Stone from LA, with the Black P Stone shit from Chicago, and just teach it to the New York blood niggas. But the only problem is he didn't realize that and I'm not gonna say he didn't realize because he could have known this shit. It could have been a mastermind trick. But at the end of the day, did he know or did he not realize that the Black P Stones in LA and the Black P Stones in Chicago, same name, same colors, not the same shit though.
Yeah. I don't even believe the story about I think T. Rogers rejected OG Mac. Because T. Rogers said in the Feds magazine, I think he was like he looked at the East Coast Bloods as fake, and he said they mimicking the West Coast. You know,
Death of the Cloud Chaser. I'm about to hit the what's the name. Death of the Cloud Chaser said OG Mac never spoke to T. Rogers. I spoke to T. Rogers about it. But I'm not gonna lie, Def. I actually heard that too. I actually heard that. I don't know if it's public record as far as like him speaking to him speaking to OG Mac or whatever like that. But I dare hear that also that OG Mac actually did speak to T. Rogers at one point in time. But once again, y'all two is from that area, so y'all know way better than I do. So that's their story. Like the New York blood niggas is telling the story, but you only can believe them so much to a certain degree. Because they gonna always tell the story in a way to make them not seem like they some copycats or that they unofficial. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Same thing.
But Death of the Cloud Chaser, he's from Chicago though. He's not from New York. He's from Chicago, and he's saying that OG Mac never spoke to T. Rogers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why would T. Rogers say that the East Coast Bloods are copycats and that they mimicking the West Coast if they had that conversation?
Correct. You see what I'm saying? So y'all hear it best. We got two Chicago people that's basically saying OG Mac never spoke to T. Rogers. So here's where Fawn's whole point come in too. Was it just some shit that he was picking up some shit? And then he just go into this is why I don't believe the whole he went into the Monster Cody book shit and just stole everything, because that's the case. He could have just started Crips.
Yeah, I feel like he took a little bit from everywhere. You know what I'm saying? He took a little bit out the Monster Cody book. He took T. Rogers teaching. He like copied that shit slowly. And he took the UBN idea. You heard what Nino Cappuccino said? Nino Cappuccino said UBN started like in 83, like 10 years prior. The West Coast UBN started 10 years prior to the East Coast UBN. So he took shit from everywhere, bro. Man was a manipulator, a liar and a manipulator and a thief.
They even took some Latin King lessons too. Because if you hear a lot of Bloods now, they say twin, TOS, all that shit came from Latin Kings.
Yeah, what's up with that? We was talking about that too. I even hear a lot of blood terms using that Peter Roll shit. Like that's a Crip term. Like I don't even.
They jacked a lot of people's lingo.
Yeah, facts.
And once again, this is no knock. This is no knock because once again, y'all know how much I talk about. I hate that people try to even come down and try to say the New York Bloods, because I got a lot of uncles and cousins that's blood. Y'all niggas were not walking, not y'all on the panel. I'm talking about in general. Y'all would never not walking any one of their faces and tell these niggas that they ain't real blood, because once again, they've been in jail, in and out of jail, fighting for shit back and forth. I just felt like it was one, and this is where we're gonna go to too. So when all that shit was happening and OG Mac was pretty much doing the teachings and all that shit, that's what he was teaching. He was teaching shit about the 5-point star. He was teaching them, about blood, using the word blood and rocking the flag on the right side and all that shit. But he was giving them most of their knowledge was like people's nation knowledge. So this is where we talk about opposites attract. Because once again, I told y'all, wherever you start Bloods at, you're gonna start Crips at. So once again, and not even really say start Crips. Because just like in New Jersey, a lot of West Coast people, they go to these different states for different reasons back in the 80s, back in the early 90s to get money. It was hard at one point in time. If you from California, live in California, pimping was a big thing out here. In New York, we had like strolls and stuff like that, but that wasn't our thing. We had like the crack era on lock. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of dudes from out here, they used to try to go out there, figure out the hustle game, but at the same time, teach New Yorkers and all that about the pimping game. I'm trying to tell y'all, it was like a hand in hand. I got this one uncle, rest in peace. He was in the music. He was like, he really thought he was Prince. You see what I'm saying? So he would like travel back and forth to a lot of these different states and stuff like that. And that's what happened. He came to California. Next thing you know, he got back to New York. He was on his pimping shit. We talking about popping collars. He got 2 different bitches on him. I'm like, who is this nigga? You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm asking for $1. He pulling out a 10. Here you go, little nephew. Now I'm saying like shit like that. You see, I'm like, what the hell's going on here? So it was a lot of traveling back and forth. Crips, there's been Crips in New York since the 80s, but once again, there's no Bloods out there to fight. What's the sense of even starting Crip sets and all that shit if there's no Bloods out here to fight?
Yeah.
But now you got 1993, the whole Blood shit start in jail. Remember, this starts in jail. It comes from all, remember, these people got to get out. So now you got people who's either been in there, and that, because remember, when you're on Rikers Island, you're not scheduled, you're not sentenced to anything more than 2 years. Unless you sitting on Rikers Island just fighting your case for like years and years. If you get sentenced more than 2 years, you're not sitting on Rikers Island. So you get a lot of people in and out, in and out. So by the time 1994 came, this shit started spilling to the street. You got Latin Kings, which was in jail, but they've been on the street. But they wasn't really causing no havoc. But now you got Bloods running around on the streets. Remember, GD's been out there already because the Latin Kings been out there already. But once again, GD's like 2 different boroughs. They nowhere near each other. So it's like, it's no even sense for the GDs to even make themselves known out there.
And can I ask you a question real quick? Are you familiar with Lorton Prison when it was open?
Nah.
Lorton, it's actually in Virginia, but that's where they locked everybody up from DC and Maryland. And before they closed Lorton Prison, and a lot of people, were shipped from like New York or whatever to Lorton. That's when things started changing here in this area because of Lorton Prison. Far as people coming from the north, and like you said, that's where a lot of it spread because most of the dudes that were coming down from New York that was getting locked up in Lorton, then they forced the guys that were from DC or whatever to have to sort of protect and defend themselves, as well as then you got your Baltimore dudes as well. So when you got that mix in, that's how our stuff started changing here because of Lorton Prison. But now
that's the go ahead, finish. I'm sorry. No, go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying now they shut Lorton down, and the result of that is that in DC we only used to have crews, where now they have the gangs.
The gangs and shit. I saw that they got Pyrus and Crips now. NG, they got a few GDs. I seen a few GD rappers from I want to say DC. Yeah, I think it's DC.
And these are places that thrive off of not having gangs.
I would have never thought they would have got gangs like the DMV. I thought they was like having like Black Power and stuff like that, and just strictly like, you know what I'm saying? Like I never would have thought that shit would have infiltrated.
And this would be my whole gut, Tanya.
They infiltrated the DC area because when I say the crews are strong, the crews is like based on if you're from southeast, northeast, northwest, whatever it may be. And then we have Go-Go, which is big here, and the bands based on what band you associated with. That's what crews rock with that band, and they do what they call a roll call. So when Lorton is shut down and all that stuff started changing, because I guess they needed to defend themselves from like Baltimore, the Philly dudes, the New York dudes, or whatever. That's when it started switching over from crews to gangs, and I was shocked to see that myself. So
hey, don't DMV got like BGF, Black Gorilla Family?
Yeah,
Black Gorilla Mafia. Yeah. I believe they do.
When you get locked up in DC, you go straight to the feds. There's no straight state prison.
What?
So if you do something minor, you're for a misdemeanor, you're a bunch of federal inmates. There's no state prisons.
Well, you'll go to DC jail first. I don't know if you saw like when Kim Kardashian just did like an interview with that. And like he was saying, like DC jail, it's not like as bad as Rikers Island, but DC jail it's like some people they rather go to a federal prison than to sit in DC jail.
Yeah, I
Like,
seen
I
the
hear that shit a
documentary.
lot out there. Yeah, they be
I
like,
seen
just
the
send me to the
documentaries
bed.
on the DC jail, man. I wouldn't
Word.
want to time in DC or none of them Florida jails either.
That
It's
shit is
crazy.
crazy. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I hear a lot of people. That DMV, you know what it is though, too. It's like, shit. I ain't even gonna lie. From like even I know Baltimore people in Baltimore don't consider themselves the DMV area, but from Baltimore up until like, I mean, I would say all through Virginia. I ain't even gonna lie. Like my little brothers in them, you know, I got brothers in the Navy and shit. So I'd have been through Norfolk, Virginia, you know, but my little brother also went to like Liberty State. So we used to be all around Virginia too. I ain't even gonna lie too. Y'all got this place out there called Sheets. Sheets is the jump off out there in Virginia. I ain't gonna. That's like my favorite
talk
spot
about the
out
gas
there.
station.
Yeah, they got the swings, the wings in that place. The wings is fire.
Yeah.
People don't even. It's a gas station that got some banging wings. If y'all have in Virginia, go to Sheets. I'm telling you, it's crazy over there.
Yeah, I've been in Virginia. A lot of people be sleeping over Virginia.
To me, Norfolk and Richmond, they like a whole different. They're in Virginia, but they on some different stuff. I'll put it that way.
You know what's crazy, Tanya, and not to even jump off subject because we're gonna jump back on the subject. I can't believe how different Virginia is and West Virginia. Even though I know it's two different states, but I can't believe how different that shit is.
That shit, I drove through there. That shit, all them hills and stuff, man.
That shit like
that
90
shit
days,
crazy,
son.
bro.
Word up. Yeah, for you idiots out there, that's two different states, but idiot, because you know people
Well,
probably
you don't want to break down in West Virginia if you black. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
That's a fact. You gonna get a shotgun. Hey, what the fuck are you doing around here?
Yeah, that shit country for real.
Yeah, that shit crazy. But so Maybach Mel. So as far as the 5-point star, OG Mac is teaching a lot of them about the 5-point star shit. So now they coming from out of jail, spitting the same shit. So you know what happens? You in jail, certain people, extra people getting put on, and they getting put on. So now you got the Crips, who has been out there in New York, like, yo, what the fuck's going on? You got Bloods and all that shit. So once again, opposites always attract. Yeah. So now you got Crips that's up there that's starting other Crip sets, but these Crips really don't even have, let's just say, full permission, and not all of them, because there's a lot of sets out there that was from
connected to the land.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? But it was some other sets out there that was just starting stuff, but they was pretty much doing the opposite. Yeah. Like, you know how that go. Like, if me and Popcorn arguing right now, I'm gonna try to say the opposite of what he's saying. If we debating and he's saying, "Oh, Donald Trump was a good president," I'm saying, "Fuck Donald Trump." If he's saying I like Joe Biden, he's saying, "Fuck Joe Biden." You see what I'm saying? Opposites attract. So when you got these people, then they running around, they talking about 5-point star this, and you listen. The Crips is like, all right, cool. So it's like the people who starting the shit, they not even thinking like, let me just go back to the land and get all this what's name. They just starting shit that some people's not even getting authorization to start. And when they started, they just doing the opposite shit of what the Blood niggas is. Oh shit, the Blood's on a 5-point star. We on a 6-point star. Why? Because GDs is out here already. They know about GDs repping the 6-point star. Black Kings use the 5-point crown, but now you got Bloods that's actually talking about 5-point star shit. So now with the GDs in New York, they was wearing blue rags. They was wearing blue rags on the right side. You see what I'm saying? So, the Bloods wear red. These niggas wear blue. Let's follow exactly behind what these niggas was doing. And that's what happened. And then that's what happened. Like, the GDs, their numbers were small at that time. So us being, the Crip shit, it was the numbers was getting what's the name, but as we was being taught knowledge, we was being taught, people was coming up with their own codes, making their own codes, and pass it on to this person. They teach the codes and teaching about the whole 6-point star shit. It was one point in time I like, even now to this day, I know so much GD shit. That's only because I was Crip in the era when Crips was actually in New York, only in New York, was repping the 6-point star for that small amount of time. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I know so much of that knowledge like that. So that's now you got this shit on the street. Now let's get into 1995 now. So now it's 1995. You got GDs notably out there. You got Crips notably out there. The Blood's been out there for 2 years now. You got the Latin Kings running around there. And let's be for real, you got the Zulu Nations running around there. So people don't even realize, like, the Zulu Nation, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. At one point in time, they was running around like a gang. They used to wear red, green, all black flags on the left side. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie, especially through Queens, they was deep in Queens. They used to throw it up. We used to have a universal handshake with the Zulu Nation. The Zulu Nation also had a universal handshake with the Bloods. You see, it was a whole bunch of just like, it was like the Bloods was so deep at that time. It was almost like you would link up with anybody just to not be outnumbered, because Bloods was outnumbering Crips 6 to 7 to 1 at one point in time. These are about mixed in with GDs. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, shit, we like, damn, in the Bronx and Manhattan, we gonna link up with the Lag Kings. Out here, we gonna rock up with the folks. In Queens, we gonna rock up with the Zulu Nations. You know what I'm saying? We got shit on lock. Just in case we gotta fight the Nietas or the Latin Kings at this time. I mean, you know, or fight like the Nietas or the Bloods, because the Nietas was the white flag Spanish gang that was out there that was on a 5-point star also. So now you got the 5-point star, had the Bloods, had the Latin Kings, and had the Nietas all running around on a 5-point star. Then you had the Zulus, which was, they said they was on a 7-star with the guard bodies, and then you had the Crips and the GDs, which was on a 6-point star. So we almost out there looking like Chicago, but just looking weird as fuck. We just out there looking weird as fuck. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. We just out there looking weird as fuck. You see what I'm saying? So at the, you go ahead, Popcorn.
It's like this dude said, like, I was having a live, just like you see these comments, and I was speaking on the Bloods. He was like, they ain't real, but they ain't fake. And I'm like, you know what? That shit makes sense. Like, they not real, like, as far as like the way they started, but they not fake either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they wasn't sanctioned.
They wasn't sanctioned.
The Latin King started the same way. It was the same shit.
I heard that too. With the dude King Blood started.
What happened was King Blood fled. He fled from Chicago for 2 bodies.
Yeah,
They
and
caught
went to
him,
New York.
and he went to Collins Correctional Facility, and that's when he formed the Latin Kings. But he didn't get authorization because a couple, I think, like 10, 15 years later, motherfuckers from Chicago came down, and motherfuckers had to get beat the fuck up in order to authorize. Sanction their hood, and they don't even go by the same lessons. Chicago and New York got different lessons than each other.
You know what's crazy is too, it's like, because I'm gonna be honest, and this is no disrespect to the Latin Kings, King Blood was actually trying to mix the Blood shit with the Latin King shit at one point in time. This is the whole, I ain't gonna lie, like at one point in time, you catch Latin Kings, they used to have the yellow rags on, and they'll be rocking mad red and shit. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, but it's like
they're red was their war color.
I know, that's a fact. That was their war color. Like every gang in New York pretty much had war colors. Like with Crip side, our war color was gray. You see what I'm saying? So if you see Crip went around with a gray flag, it was a war color. Latin Kings had the red. The Bloods used to wear green. That's when you was called green lighted. You see what I'm saying? That was like they war color, whatever, like that too. So you know, everyone had. Then every gang wore black. It all depends on what side.
Hey, Smiley. What? Hey, I was looking at this YouTube video. What's that ABG?
That's anybody get it.
Is that Blood set, or is that just some
that was
on their own?
That was the set that started because the books was closed.
Correct. So yeah, that's a good way. That's exactly Gotti Savage put it right. So a lot of people might not know what that means. So what happened was, Bloods at one point in time, they closed the books, which means couldn't nobody turn blood until the books opened back up. So let's just say if they closed the books in 2003, if you wasn't blood before 2003, then you couldn't turn blood until they opened the books back up, because there was so much shit that was going on, fraudulent shit. They stopped blooding people in just to try to get a hold on shit. You see what I'm saying? So you had ABG started, which was anybody get it. ABG started as like a gang that they was own shit, but it was literally supposed to be anybody can get it. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you Crip, you can get it. If you Blood, you can get it. Latin King, you see what I'm saying? But a lot of it is shit.
Remember when they apples, bananas, grapes?
Apple, bananas, and grapes. Remember that shit? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So but then it's like the areas that they was in, they was just in a lot of blood areas. So it was like they couldn't go against Bloods. So they actually at one point they was still their own shit, but they actually allied with the blood niggas. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, they allied with them. You see that, but then it's like once then it just kind of grouped into one. You see what I'm saying? Then it just like disintegrated.
I'm originally from Marlboro Project.
Okay, yeah.
I remember when them ABG that shit popped off.
Yeah.
The books opened, and my whole family was ABG, and they wasn't feeling that they didn't want to become blood.
Yeah.
So my whole family they ended up becoming Crip.
Yeah, and that happened a lot too. I'm not even gonna lie, because you know what the Crips did when that shit happened. It's like we was actually listen, Crips did everything to get their numbers up. I'm not even gonna lie. Like if you was blood and you came to us so much you want to turn Crip, all right, fuck it, just square. See what I'm saying? Like it was like we was doing anything to get our numbers up. If you was ABG and y'all shit was jumping down, come on this side. I ain't gonna lie, a lot of Decepticons turn Crip. A lot of low lives end up turning Bloods. But a lot of Decepticons
Crown Family.
Yeah, Crown Family and the United Kingdom and Flatbush. A lot of them end up turning Crip. See what I'm saying? So yeah, it was just like
did the Decepticons still exist though? Or they pretty much gone?
I mean, it's still some of them around, but I wouldn't say like they exist.
Recruitment shit.
It's like the
nah. Yeah, you'll find like you're not gonna find no 20-year-old Decepticon.
Okay.
Like you not like they've been stopped recruiting like a long time ago. So then Nieta too. You wouldn't see no 20-year-old Nieta running around here. 30-something of people.
I had to whoop a Nieta out.
Where in Jersey?
Yeah.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere. They're in Boston too.
But they not heavy in Jersey like that. Like they not heavy like that. Latin Kings, yeah, but they not as present or relevant. It's more because like I'm being honest and with all respect, like the Hispanic gang culture side is very silent. Like Jersey put a stop to a lot of that. Like it's really just being frank, it's just wild niggas.
That's a fact. And majority, not disrespect to the anthons, but
it's wild
85%
niggas.
of them are dopeheads.
Like, and don't get it twisted, because I'm from the North Ward. You feel me? Like if you familiar with North, the North Ward it's a large Spanish population. Jersey does have a large Spanish population. Now I'm not saying the Hispanic whatever they don't get busy. They do get busy. I'm just saying as far as the gang presence, it's not as relevant as a Blood or Crip or Hoover or whatever else that may exist in Jersey. I mean, North to be exact.
That's a fact.
I'm starting to believe that the Hispanic gangs is most dangerous in the border states, like Texas, Arizona, shit like that.
That's because they deal with the
No, they're very dangerous here in the DMV area. And I'm just going to say a lot of my firsthand experience was before I retired, I used to work at the high schools. And I'm going to tell you, the high schools were like mini prisons to me. So you had all the different gangs. So in our area, the average high school has 2,500 to 3,000 kids. And then when I literally tell you, when I would walk around in the school, you had certain areas where certain gangs were at, and you had to know what area you was walking into in the high school. But MS-13, I really have to say, they have a large presence here in the Northern Virginia area. And also out there, you know how when you saw about West Virginia? They're starting to move out western part of Virginia, like that 81 North or whatever. And they're starting to move out toward like West Virginia, places like that, because they got control over the meth market. So you got, the white people. I don't mean any harm. I'm not trying to offend anybody, that's out there. Like the more of them are on meth. So that's why we got a heavier presence of MS-13, because they push that. So
Hey, Popcorn, let me ask you a question. In Chicago, are you, because I hear a lot of people say that too. Like Oakland is a place in California that thrives off not having any Bloods and Crips sets out there, but they do have Bloods and Crips that live out there. Are you starting to see Bloods and Crips
Hey,
sets pop out in Chicago?
hold on, let me say this. I got a issue or disclaimer, whatever. I'm not from Chicago. I lived in Chicago, so I
No,
know a
I
little bit about it. But
yeah.
but as far as that, I met a blood who said he lived in Chicago, but I don't think he meant it like they active. I believe when he was telling me that he was basically saying it's bloods that's present in Chicago. Them Chicago niggas is different when it come to gang banging, bro. I'm not bullshitting. Like
My thing is I don't understand why they don't. It's like the it's people out there that really don't feel like if they're GD or if they're BD or if they're Vice Lord that they're in the gang. I understand the people nation folk. I understand that shit, but break it down.
Because it's a religion. Chicago is a religion. Chicago gang banging is a religion. I mean, Chicago gangs is a religion. California gangs is a culture, and a lot of the East Coast gangs are a trend. You know what I'm saying? Like when I said about the Muslims and shit.
I like how you broke that down though.
Yeah. Even though it's obvious they act like a gang. You can just watch like the violence and shit. Like they throw gang signs, they kill each other. But that's not how it was started, bro. You ever heard of the Air Ruthless and shit?
Yeah, that's off Jeff Ford. Jeff Ford,
yeah. The
Tell people a little bit more about it.
The Morris Science Temple and a lot of the Vice Lords I grew up with, dude, they practice like that Muslim, you know, that Allah, and like I said, no littering and stuff and hygiene. That's all in their literature, bro. They take care of themselves and they supposed to live righteous. They supposed to live righteous, but it's so many young, immature people in it. They give it the wrong. You know what? It's just like the New York Bloods. If you got 2 or 3 motherfuckers to go out and cut old ladies and innocent people, they make the whole nation look bad. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing in Chicago. You know what I mean? It's just so
I want
happy.
to piggyback off a little bit off what Popcorn said. Because I communicate with a lot of individuals, but I never lived there. But I do communicate with a lot of GDs. I never communicated with a BD. If y'all do y'all research, y'all know some wild shit about me when it comes to BDs and me being what I am. You know, with Chief Keef and him and SD and Black Gates. If you do your research, but what was funny to me when I was talking to one of my GD homies and shit, and I was like, "Yo, if Crips start coming out there, and Bloods start coming out there, what do you think will happen?" And I don't know if he was serious or if he said this as a joke. I thought it was funny because my sense of humor is bugged the fuck out. But he said the GDs and the BDs to get together to kill all the Bloods and Crips and then start shooting each other.
Yeah, they definitely don't collide, bro. Chicago is different, bro. They not doing shit, bro.
Hey yo, but and also to go with what you said as far as like how we on the outside looking at, we like, yeah, that's gangbanging. No, they really do look at it as a religion, and that's factual. I'm talking about, I see, and I'm gonna try to get my man on the panel too, because he rap whatever. You know, I don't want to put his name out there, so y'all start hitting him up and shit. But I remember seeing this nigga sitting down like an Indian with the blue bandana, like at an angle, with his guns and some candles, praying to the flag on some wild shit. No bullshit. Yo, bro, I put this on everything I love. He really some wild ass guns, and he was sitting there like an Indian praying. Like I don't know if that's a part of what they're supposed to do or if that's just how he does it or whatever. But it is a religion. Just like I heard, it's a violation for you to be smelling foul. Like if you stink, like you ain't taking no shower, that's a violation.
Yeah, it's in their literature. It's the rules. They got to take care of their hygiene. And like I said, I got family that's Vice Lord in Milwaukee. You know what I mean? Like they can't litter and all of that. It's a whole lot of shit, bro. It's written into their litter. I'm not gonna put their literature out on the internet, but I'm just saying, like they pray to like Allah and the honorable such and such, chief such and
Yeah.
such. They take that shit very seriously. But if you ignorant and you not up on the teachings and you not internalizing the lessons in the oaths, the creeds and shit, then no, you're not gonna take it serious. You're gonna think it's all about throwing gang signs and getting into trouble and you know what I mean about oppression. Like so a lot of them dudes is misled, basically what I'm saying. You know what I'm
That's a
saying? But
fact.
if you meet a real stone or a real vice lord, a real
Mhm.
one who know his shit, who on top of his shit, it's gonna change your whole perspective of like Chicago gangs and shit. You're gonna realize that them other niggas is misguided. The ones that you be seeing in these rap videos, flashing guns, talking about killing niggas' mamas and grandmamas and shit. You gonna be like,
Mhm.
them niggas, they misguided.
And also, let me piggyback off another thing too. Like what Popcorn said. He said about that Masonic shit. They used to go to
Yes.
temples. They used
Temples,
to
yep,
go to
Yes.
temples and practice their literature. Word.
Mhm.
yep.
And with when you're talking about the Muslims, I don't know if you've seen, you know, Smiley like on my page. If you've seen where the the Muslims they creating their own. I don't know if they. I don't know if you know of the Trump. I don't know what they call them, but anyhow,
Yeah, I
if
know.
you
Yeah, yeah. I
there's
don't know what to
our
call.
interstate snake. You see the nation they have. So the
Yep.
Afghans and the Middle Easterns are now combining with the Black Muslims, and they're creating a large movement now, and that's something new.
Yep. That's crazy.
So
Hey, what I want to do is let's do this quick halftime break. I want y'all to each while we got decent amount of people in here. I want y'all to each let y'all know we're gonna start out with Stats 280. Where can they? I mean, with Gotti Savage. Where can they find y'all at on social media?
Shit, I even have a. I'm low key.
I figured that, but
I'm
that's why I
telling the
said
streets.
Stats. Yeah. Catch Gotti Savage in these YouTube streets, man. Stats 280. Let the people know.
He got his shit on mute.
And my shit. Hold
All
on,
right.
my
You
bad.
can't cream
My
with my
fault.
brother
Nah, I'm here.
Stacks or my
You
brother
know.
Smiley.
Oh shit! I ain't even know Gotti Savage. So shut up, man. My fellow EBK
Big
mindset.
fucking
Cracking.
EBK.
You already
Yes,
know the
sir.
vibe. But you, as far as me, mine's is simple. Mine's is stats underscore 280. On here, stats 280. Mine's simple. Everything 280 with me.
I got you. Tanya,
Tanya Iverson one.
Mine,
popcorn.
mine's popcorn, man, as you see on the screen. You know what I mean? Popcorn. Like subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know,
Maybach Mel.
Oh, you already know. Mine's the same thing as my name, Maybach Mel. I'm starting up a YouTube channel soon. You already know. Got some good things coming in the works. Your number one Zoe.
That's a fact. You still over there? You still over there? With the team?
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. The smoke
Good. Shout
gang,
them
no
out.
doubt,
Shout them
no
out.
doubt. Oh yeah, you already know. Good looking. I smoke hip hop. You already know. Smoke gang in the building. Number
It's a
one
fact.
Zoes.
Salute, man. Salute. So, popcorn. As far as what do you feel like? Do you feel like Chicago? Because I'm tired of tell people, man. Chicago had an influence on LA as far as with the whole Black Peace Stone Blood movement being out there because it started in Chicago. It has a big impact on New York because you see the whole Latin Kings what they was doing as far as in New York and what they was doing in the jails out there, and that eventually made the whole blood thing come up to play. But because the Bloods was going a lot by the People Nation shit, and then made the Crips pretty much start going by the Folk Nation stuff, Chicago had a big influence on these two states. So Jersey is another state that a lot of people get mixed up with New York because they so close. They think the Crips in New York is the same as the Crips in Jersey, and they think the Bloods in New York is the same thing as the Bloods in New York and New Jersey. There is way more a closer connection on the Blood side because they do have UBN sets in Jersey. So let's break down the Crips and Blood shit. Then I'm gonna let Stats tune in on this too.
Okay.
Because the misrepresentation was taught to both sides in New York. A lot of these people that was in New York was going to a lot of these southern states to do the same exact thing that people from California, Chicago was doing in New York and New Jersey to get money. Everybody already know when people from New York go to get money, they go down south. Say places such like Virginia, places such like Baltimore, Atlanta, North Carolina, South Carolina. They don't really know. We don't go. New Yorkers don't go too far. You don't go really past Florida. Like you're not going to Alabama and all that. Like that's a little too far.
I gotta pause you though, because
good.
Let's make it clear what you are doing right now, because a lot of these New York blood niggas be exaggerating. You know, they when they be like having a little battle with West Coast Bloods in the comment section, they be talking about, well, we got the South on lock, we got all the southern states. That's not true. You niggas got the eastern southern states like Georgia, the Carolinas, Virginia, Florida. That's because all you niggas got family. It was easy. If you got family in these different cities and states, it's your family gonna follow you, y'all family. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be easy to influence them niggas. But let's be clear, I never heard of a New York blood until the internet, my nigga. Like, I done been all over the South. South, they got West Coast. They got mostly. I'm not saying it ain't none. You probably can go to Alabama and see somebody who sex, money, murder, or whatever. But for the most part, the Midwestern states and them Southern states, Mid-South states, they running off West Coast protocol, bro. That's just the facts. You know, West Coast had a 20-30 year head start as far as like influencing other states. You know what I'm saying? You said it yourself, New York. What's up?
No, you good. I was talking to my son.
You said it yourself, New York. The New York gangs didn't really hit the streets till like in the 90s and shit, really. Like, you know what I mean? Then they probably start spreading around like the 2000s and shit. So y'all, the people that's doing that, y'all got to stop spreading that misinformation, bro.
That's a fact. And let's be for real. Like, New York wasn't even the first place. New York, listen, I'm gonna be honest. New York was probably like the 6th state, I would probably say, that actually got Bloods and Crips in it. There was Crips and Bloods in Las Vegas and Texas and all these
Missouri.
It was bad shit before New York.
Tennessee, Arkansas. Y'all remember banging in Little Rock? It was Crips and Bloods all over the West and the South and shit. Know
Fuck that. And there was Crips in New Jersey since the 80s. Like notable sets. So, you know, listen, that's why I try to tell people too. They made a big ass deal about the shit coming to New York, but the only problem is New York had such a big influence and we didn't have it right. That's the problem. We didn't have the right information. Had we had that same influence and all our information would have been right, a lot of this talk wouldn't have been talked about. The West Coast sets would have been accepting. Like, listen, y'all good. Y'all come over to but hey, listen, if you a blood and you come over there talking about 5-point star and all that, and you not like a black pea stone, you look that crazy.
They're gonna look at you like you crazy, my nigga.
You see what I'm saying? So if you a Crip, same thing. Like, they still got a lot of Crips in a lot of these different states that still got the 8-Ball Alliance. They still got Crips in different states that still rep the 6-point star. Why? Because somebody at that time from New York, went to these southern states and started the shit out there and taught them the same exact knowledge they was taught. So now it's slowly but surely you see in different states, but not in Jersey though. With Jersey with the Crips, Jersey Crips never followed the 6-point star. They never ran by that shit. Remember, Jersey and New York is right across the bridge from each other.
Yeah.
Jersey Crips have been a direct descendant from the LA Crips since the 80s. Yeah. It's you heard LA Crips done say that, especially with that set and with other sets like the Roller 60s that's out there. They are directly connected to the motherlands out here, like Grape Streets, right? You only hear Grape Streets from LA talk about Grape Streets from 2 other states really like that. It's Grape Streets in mad states, but they mention the Memphis grapes. Yeah, they mention the Jersey grapes.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, you know, and they've been out there since the 80s. So that's why on the Crip side, you don't have the big connection as far as like the Jersey Crips and the New York Crips, because even though so close, everybody from Jersey don't have as much sets as Crip sets as New York do. But
Yeah.
they got a lot of Crips out there, but a lot of them be Grape Streets, but they'll be like from different like sections of Grape Streets. Some of them be from 60s, but different section from 60s and shit. So there was more structure and there was more proper teaching in Jersey than it was in like Stats. I probably was fucking ran by Stats mad times when we was younger. See what I'm saying? Ran across this nigga, but if I ran into him now, it's like a lot of Jersey Crips don't know the universal New York handshake. In New York, Crips we have a universal handshake that it don't matter if you a Crip from 8 Trade and you meet up with a 60, like that shit don't really exist as far as like instant beef in New York. That don't exist. You see what I'm saying? So you'll have a universal handshake to where you see niggas from different sets. You'll throw up that universal handshake, but the Jersey Crips don't know that universal handshake shit. They barely get along with each other. That's Stats. Let me let you speak on it.
I mean, man. First off, I want to say rest in peace, Blackout. You know what I'm saying? Big Blackout. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to him. You know, we were supposed to be putting something together. Unfortunately, he had, run in with the police and whatever, so he was let down by that. From Watts. So, now when it comes to us, you know what I'm saying? Like, we adapted, excuse me, like that. Anybody get it? That EDK type of mindset out here because, for one, there's not that much unity when it comes to all the Crips out here. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody it's a lot of back and forth because everybody trying to be dominant. You know what I'm saying? Everybody trying to be dominant. Some people even section it off as towards because out here in Jersey, North, we go by ward. We, as far as where I'm from, we the only place that came up with that zone shit. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, we go by ward. North Ward, South Ward. Those are pretty, or the West Ward. Those are pretty much predominantly what you're going to hear about. And don't forget the East Ward. So, mind you, all these zones and wards is dangerous on their own. You know what I'm saying? All of them dangerous on their own. But for what's notable or say more famous, gets a little bit more recognition would be the South Ward. Now, now I'm going to put it all back down to this. South Ward got a lot of greats out there too, such as the North Ward where I'm from. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean we gonna be cool because they the same as me. They may be going at it on the sense of everybody's trying to gain control and dominance. It's a certain line, which I can't really get into all of that or whatever the case may be, but for the most part, everybody is at it with everybody, and to the point where it's really EBK over here. Like, whether it's a Blood or whether it's a Crip, whoever, it's all based on your face card, pretty much. It's all based on your face card. So it ain't that much unity as far as it is in New York, like how they got a universal handshake. Nah, we don't. You know, it ain't no universal handshake over here. You know what I mean? Word.
Yeah.
No, that's a fact. I could definitely dig it. Anybody want to intervene on that before I actually jump into the full stature of this whole shit?
Yeah, I would.
I want to touch on that real quick.
I wanted to too.
All right,
I could touch on it. I could touch on it real quick.
Jeff Ford. When Jeff Ford got locked up in the feds for the government grant, and he came home, he left Mickey in charge. So you know, when you come home, people got so many years, people are adapting to you. So when Jeff Ford came home, he's like, yo, listen, I want to start the Alrukans. That started like, it's basically like almost like Moors. So when he came home, a lot of people they wanted to stay Black Peace Stone. So Jeff Ford got Mickey killed, and when he got killed, that's when the Mickey Cobra started.
Yeah, Mickey Cogwell. Yep, the Snakes.
And he started that ended up becoming a retro from the GDs.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. So that's crazy. Yeah. I didn't even know that.
They everywhere too. They everywhere, but the thing is, it's not a lot of them everywhere. So so you will bump into one, but it's never gonna be on some gang banging shit because it's not. They don't have the numbers like that in different cities, but they present. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But people
And
don't
I
talk about that when they think of Chicago. I notice a lot of people they talk about the GDs, BDs. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Them the two people. Them the two they talk about.
And a lot of
Cause you
people
know,
don't realize that King Vaughn's grandfather was the founder of the BD.
you know what I'm saying? I think the Vice Lord numbers was back in the 90s. They was way it was way stronger than I would probably say it was right now too, especially more notable too. Like my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies though is First Time Felon
Oh, that's
with the
Omar
yeah
Epps.
with Omar Epps.
Oh, Omar
Yeah.
Partey.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, I
Like
said
that.
Omar Partey. I said the rat nigga. OG Mac.
Word.
Fuck that.
You know what
I
I'm
meant to
saying?
say
That
Omar Epps. My bad.
word up. That First Time Felon shit, I would have never want to be locked up in jail in a situation like that. You see what I'm saying? Like how the fucking vice lords had one room, and then you had the this when listen, this when they was still all one. It was still all one. You see, that wasn't like BDs in one room, GDs in one room, vice lords. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. So
Yeah.
if you got caught up in that vice lord room, your ass is about to get demolished. Go ahead, Popcorn.
No, I'm gonna take it. I'll be right. I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that
Oh, all
movie
right,
was
nah, you
crazy.
good. Yeah. That movie was bugged the fuck up. But
Yeah,
Maybach Mel.
he went into the GD room. Niggas
Yeah.
had a pile of dead fucking vice lords in there.
Yep. Remember his ass had to go into the vice lord room too. He had the he was walking in there, he was like ta-da. See what I'm saying? He was doing all that shit. You see what I'm saying? So, and you know, listen, I ain't gonna lie, vice lords got catchy ass fucking terminologies and slogans. I ain't gonna lie, that ta-da shit, you see what I'm saying? That's like that shit is catchy as fuck. Word up. Niggas don't even be niggas, they probably don't have no clue what we talk about right now. But yeah,
That movie's
man,
a classic.
that shit is definitely a classic, man. A lot of people don't talk about that. But when you're on a blood side of things in Jersey, it kind of gets more to the New York side. It's a lot of the UBN sets that's out there for the most part too. Like the G Stones, which was mentioned earlier, they don't have a lot of G Stones. Well, they probably got some living out there, but as far as like sets, you're not gonna find like a whole just like G Stone area to where you go in Brooklyn and stuff like that, or if you go in a lot of different places in these different boroughs, it's kind of like that. You see what I'm saying? So basically they're Crip wise, the connection is way closer to California. Blood wise, Jersey do got a lot of like they're I don't even want to call them homegrown sets. I would say homegrown sets, and they do have a lot of UBN sets out there. Like but it's weird because you know the whole connection with the Double I Bloods, as far as them being the original Bloods in Jersey, which is through Tretch, Naughty by Nature, Mac 10, the whole Double I Blood shit too. So it's like
insane.
you would
Insane Imperial, I think. Something like
yeah, you would figure like there would be more California-based blood sets in Jersey besides them, but I mean, it's not. You got like Pyrus out there though. You got more Pyrus in Jersey than you do in.
I forgot. I got bias again. Now when it come to that side, now I know people who can remember Suge Knight coming to Clinton ass, telling them and influencing them that they were gonna be Mob Pyru. Like there's been times where they, what I'm saying, people influencing, coming down there and actually, giving people that one-on-one. Then there was times where, like I said, you had people coming from Watts. You even had Snoop Dogg coming to Hyatt Court and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Now as far as the sets that say Jersey on the blood side, yes, you have a lot of UBNs. You have you got the Shines, you got the Sex Money Murders, and then I'm gonna also give you the more relevant. The Shines are pretty big. The Sex Money Murders is pretty low. There's not too many of them, but they're still around. What else? There's no Gorilla Stones. There's none of them. There's no Stones in Jersey. If they are out there, then they're not that present. What else? There was at one point in time Valentine, but they were in Georgia King. They actually got taken over by one of the homies. Rest in peace to him, and he turned them all great. Basically, who else? We had what else? What else? What else? Other senses. We got
Hey,
Pyrus. We
Nina,
got the
Nina,
mob Pyrus. We got two lines of Pyrus. We got one that's like a Teflon and one a machete line and all that. And also one of the Pyru members I know for a fact was with T. Rogers during a lot of the times where he came to New York. He was his, bodyguard or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He was real close to him. I don't want to name drop them. If y'all know, you know. Um, yeah, it's not that many. It's like it's a lot of homegrown shit. Like it'd be like little subsets too, like the Red Gorilla Bloods, and oh yeah, I can't forget about the Brims. We got the Brick City Brims. Got a lot of them. You got some. I don't really know too much on the Brim side. I only know the Brick City Brims, but I be hearing they got like the 5'9s and shit, but I never ran across them. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to speak on shit that I don't know. I mean, but for the most part, the most relevant is the Pyrus, all the little members of the Pyrus as far as MOB and whatever other Pyrus shit and insurance, pretty much. So those are the
That's a
more
fact.
relevant.
That's a fact. Oh yeah, yeah. Don't they got fruit towns out there too?
Fruit Town, Fruit
I
Town
thought.
Brim. I heard of the Fruit Town Brims, but I don't know nothing. I don't know no other shit.
Yeah, nah. The Fruit Town Brims is what I just found out is like a spinoff of the Fruit Town Paru. So I mean, it's almost the same shit. Groovy Slim, what's cracking?
Was cracking, cuz, hey,
Oh
yo,
yeah, my
that's
fault.
spitting
And
that real
also,
shit, though. That ain't lying, cuz. I could co-sign that.
That's a fact. Talk your
Like,
shit.
nah, in Jersey, like, I was gang banging since I was 11 years old. I'm 37 now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the biggest set back then was rolling before they turned neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
The Grapes is the only niggas in North who really got their own hood. Hyatt Court, Wyatt Court, that's they shit down there. Down the net, them niggas got their own movie theater, the multiplex. But Jersey
Damn.
do not on like I'm Hoover. I can't take nothing from nobody.
Yeah.
But Brick City Brim is like homegrown, but Brick City Brim is big. He
Mm-hmm.
not lying. It used to be Valentine, but that shit like that's a cheesecake right now. It ain't like nah. And somebody put in the comments, 9 Trey is in North. You right. But 9
Mm-hmm.
Trey and North go by 9-3 Texan grenades. They don't scream 9 Trey. It's different. You got the murders, sex money
oh
murder,
yeah,
252.
he
And like
correct. Let me
that
let me let
said,
me tap in with you, cousins.
hold
You
on
right,
one
y'all.
second, cuz. 1 second, cuz. Stats ain't lying. When Suge came to North, they used to say Big Deuce on Big Deuce, My Pyru on Badwick and Blend Mad. He ain't lying. Like shit, he ain't lying about none of that. But
Word,
Jersey
that's a
do
fact.
got more homegrown sets than anything. Like
That's a
Brick
fact.
City Brim is big out there.
Yeah,
Word stats.
and the 973 shit is Bevan. That's who I be forgetting about. Now the Bevan, that's where they put Bevan is
Yeah,
basically
they
793.
it
Now
sound
that's
if
like
the
the
Crips.
7,
That's
but they
Crips
say
and the Bloods.
Bevan.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
you actually brought that back up. I be forgetting about them. But the Bevins, they do have a large number count.
But
They be
they down by like Sherman Ave though, cuz like that's the
yeah,
other side.
they over there on in the Hooters. They got the
Yeah,
Hooters.
by no, I'm originally from South Ward, but nigga, the Hoovers had Hooterville. I'm 5
Yeah,
Deuce.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
Y'all got
had
the hill.
Hooterville.
Yeah,
It's
y'all
a
got the
lot of
hill. I ain't scared of
Bevins by the Hotel Riviera. What's that? Martin Luther King Boulevard, right?
You said the Riviera, that's my Clinton Ave.
No, but that's down by like Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Yeah.
They down by like Sherman Ave and all of them. That's where a lot of the Bevins is at.
So let me ask you something. Let me ask you something real quick, Groovy Slim. Do you see any GD sets that's popping up in Jersey?
Yo, cuz I put this in the chat. Let me cut you off real quick. No offense. We had GDs in North before you ever had a BD in North. All right, let me give some knowledge without going in too much. Before I turned 5 Deuce Hoover, I was 111 Hoover. My OG was out from Texas, OG Chip, 6'4" Chip. They put a closed caption on that. But when I was still 111, my set formed the 8-ball with the GDs that was in my hood. We never heard of BDs in North back in the day. It was folks, and you know everybody know folks as Crips first cousins. We didn't have BDs back in the day. We had nothing but GDs, Bloods, and Crips. You didn't even have Latin Kings. Like, all right, the Latin part of North is North. If you don't speak that shit, don't go over there. You're gonna die.
Yeah.
Like we used to go skating in North at Branchbrook Park. So they had the Latin gangs over there. GDs was the first out of GDs and BDs. GDs was first in North. We ain't never had no BDs.
Yeah, that shit
I
crazy.
can't tell you if they got BDs in North right now. Like BDs is on like the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah, hold on, babyface Lokester. Nah, none of us is 6-point star Crips. Nah. This is old. This is old shit.
This is
that
old
we speaking
knowledge.
on
But
right
back in
now.
the
This
day,
old
we all
knowledge.
used to bang the 6-point star in North.
That's
Back in the
fact.
day when niggas was dumb.
Hey,
But
hey, Keyway, chill, cuz.
Yo, Smiley, let me show you how it go. North, we had the neighborhoods, and I'm talking about on our side. We had neighborhoods, we got 103rd, and we got the grooves.
Yeah.
Irvington is right next to North. Irvington was the first city in Jersey to come out with the 9-8 Main Street Mafia.
Okay.
They was the first city in Jersey to come out with Playboy Gangster. That was Irvington. That's not North. You understand what I'm saying? Like North was known for the neighborhood, the Grapes first, the neighborhoods, then the Hoovers. We just kind of came out of nowhere. But in North, to keep it 100, we still second to the Grapes. Because a lot of the neighborhood sets, they start condoning, some fuckery shit that we can't speak about on the net.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah.
Irvington got Playboy. They got 9-8 Main Street Mafia. They might even got a couple A-Trays. We never had A-Deuce Tray in Jersey. We ain't never had it.
Nah, but A-Trays though, yeah, you start to get a lot of these other sets that's going to these other parts of Jersey.
Later on, like
small,
back in the day, the biggest blood sets in North was 9-3 Texan grenades. You had the 6-6 Deuce Mob Pyru, but the original ones was Sex Money Murder 252. Like those was the biggest niggas in North at one point in time.
Hey, cuz, but let's put it. What happened to him? They killed his ass. Found out he was a rat. He was an informant. The nigga still jacking that Sex Money Murder shit.
Nigga, listen. Brick City Brim started in Essex County Jail. Tell a nigga dispute that one.
Yeah.
No, Brick City Brim is like, no, they like respected nationally. that shit started in our county jail before they built the Green Monster.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start hearing niggas Brick City Brim. But back then it was 9-3 texting grenades and sex, money, murder. Everybody wanted to do that. Then when Suge Knight came, it was Big Deuce, as they would say. But I'm going to tell you, one blood hood in North that we wasn't going through. I went through there one time. Them niggas fixed me up. I ain't going to lie. But they got this projects on Urban Turner Boulevard. It's one way in and one way out. Jewels, Jim Jones, all your Harlem niggas pulled up and salute them niggas on Urban Turner. Now, them niggas like that. I ain't going to take nothing from nobody. But like
crazy, son.
A lot of the shit in North now is like watered down. Let me like not the gang banging aspect, but like he said, niggas start going against each other. Like on the other side, you got niggas like, yo, sex, money, murder ain't that hard. Now they Devin. You understand what I'm saying? So now they all fighting for clout on who got the biggest name.
Yeah. Y'all don't remember
no take over the Grapes, because the Grapes literally have their own hood. And then when you go to South Ward, if any of y'all know Shotgun Suge, he from South Ward.
That's the first time I heard of South Ward when he started rapping about it. I was
yo, like growing up in South Ward, the hardest bloods was that 225 Van Velser, that building. In South Ward, those are the hardest bloods.
Yo, so do you remember any GKBs being out there in the early 90s? Yeah.
Blood. That's a fact. Yo, my bad. That's one of the original blood sets in North too. We used to call them garbage can bloods, but nah, they gangster killer bloods. Nah, that's a fact. GKB was like that out there.
Hey, that's a
yo, Popcorn, you remember when Nino Cappuccino called them niggas the gangster killer blacks? You remember that shit?
Yeah, GK Blacks.
And the GK Blacks, that shit. Yeah.
He said something else with sex, money, murder. I can't remember what he said. Sex, money,
GKB probably transformed into a different blood set. Now I mean,
they
like
shot. But look,
G-Shots, yeah.
And this is no shot and no disrespect to no blood, but let me tell you how Nork is. Nork is kind of like whatever blood set is cracking at the time, that's what niggas is pushing. Like
that's
the
crazy.
Valentine's was the shortest lived blood set in North. Nah, for real, like I'm keeping it 100.
They
that
turned them
shit was
niggas
short lived, and every Valentine turned Pyru. Cause Suge Knight came to North and told them niggas, yo, listen, in North, they had a set on Chadwick and Clinton Ave. Suge Knight would say big dudes mob Pyru on Badwick and Blinton Ave. And that's where all the niggas said they was from after that.
Yeah.
Like, North kind of go, like, on the blood side, it kind of go by, like, how the industry is. Whatever's hot today, that's what niggas pushing. You still got some original niggas that, like, I can't set with.
All right, so hold on, y'all. So for the niggas that's listening, you heard what he just said, right? So y'all already know about the whole Double R Bloods having the connection with Tretch for Naughty by Nature. Yeah, with Mac 10. Yeah, I know. And even with the whole Suge Knight shit coming to putting on them niggas from the Mall Pyru shit. This is what I try to tell people, man. You getting these people from the West Coast that's coming out here doing shit like this. So when y'all try to say New York and New Jersey, oh, y'all just started y'all shit, y'all trying to be like California. Nah, that's not the case. It was niggas from California that brung the shit out here, and we just, took heed to it.
I'm gonna make it rain on their parade real quick, Smiley. If anybody know the homie Hollywood from Cali and Hollywood about that, Hollywood came to North and sanctioned us on this side. Niggas ain't tap over here. Like, just because we not from Cali, can't say niggas don't really gang bang. Because in North, niggas gang bang and steal cars. That's all niggas do. Niggas don't get no money.
Yeah.
Nigga, the dope dealers get robbed by dope fiends in North. Let's keep it 100. Nigga, the dope fiends in North will hop out on you with the stick, nigga. 3 of them. Give it up.
No bullshit. No bullshit.
Like,
We got tough
what?
ass things.
Double I was from East Orange. Double I was never in North. Like, Tretch was like he was like the OG of Double I in the hood.
Yeah.
But he be in East Orange. East Orange, let me show you how East Orange go, cuz. East Orange had their own homegrown gang, NSKG, Northside Killer Gangster. You know who they all transformed into?
Oh.
Nigga, the Avalon Gangster Crips. Nigga, we never had Avalons in
There's
Jersey.
Avalons out there? Oh, shit.
Nigga, that's what North and East Orange, NSKG, Northside Killer Gangster, all turned into Avalon Gangster Crips.
That's crazy.
My homie Ski, I was locked up with the nigga in the youth house on 80 Doyer Street. Google it. My homie Ski from NSKG was the firstborn under Avalon Gangster Crip in East Orange. These are facts.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
They got Avalons, but it's not in North.
Yeah.
I mean,
did you ever see any? You ever seen any Skylines out there? Any Skyline Pyrus? I don't remember it being no Skylines in Jersey. You ever seen any Skylines out there?
I don't remember that either. I'm gonna tell you the main 2 Pyru sets that I knew of. You had 6 Deuce and you had Red Dog Pyru.
Red Dog? Oh, that was that like, that's like a Jersey set?
Red Dog. The most of the Red Dogs used to be in Hooterville on Stuyvesant Avenue, right by the Chinese store. But like Skyline, they never really. I'm not saying it ain't no Skylines, and this is no disrespect to no Skylines, but they didn't really make a name for themselves in North.
Yeah.
Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, like North. And like, but you gotta understand, Irvington, East Orange is all like right next to North. So some of them niggas don't want to be followers. They want to stand on their own 10 toes. So they'll start up some different shit, know what I mean? So I'm not saying it ain't no Skylines, but you either heard of 6 Deuce or Red Dog Pyru. Like, those was the main Pyru shit you heard of. But they had a couple bounty hunters out there too, so I gotta put that in there too. But
they had bounty hunters out there too?
Yeah, they had a couple bounty hunters. But you know why I ain't respect them niggas though?
What?
Cause them niggas accept Transformers.
Wait, what you mean?
Nigga banging us and then start banging them when some shit don't go right with him and his homies. And they welcome them.
Oh, that's fucked up.
In North, stats will tell you we call them Transformers.
Yeah,
every
but you
other
know,
city and state got their own lingo. We call them Transformers.
And that's why I say opposites attracts, because you know, that's in LA. That's like the Grape Street. Like that's their Grape Street is like that's their biggest adversaries out there. LA is the bounty hunters. So go.
If you not loyal to what you down with now, how can you be loyal to the next opportunity in life that come across your face?
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
But they never them niggas never got in North we used to give out 3 minutes. 60 seconds ain't enough. Who would give out 3 minutes? My 3 minutes ain't worth giving you if you wasn't loyal to whatever you had going on before.
That's a fact. So that's what my set run by too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a long time when you fighting multiple niggas. Yeah.
And look, just so niggas say I can't say I'm capping. I got a scar on my face right here. I got that from being in New York State prison, nigga. They don't respect no Crips in there.
Yeah.
None.
And how was it? How was it for you in New York State prison?
Nigga, it was rough.
I know it's a rhetorical question, but you know what I'm saying?
No, I had Crip niggas turn on me, cuz they talking about they piecing me every time. But when it's time to go down, them niggas telling me, yo, cuz, don't fight back. What the fuck you mean?
Fuck yeah.
That's a
Fuck
fact.
that.
I had a nigga that I knew from the streets that was cripping crazy in the streets. Bitch, we get up north. I go to peace and me say, cuz, you wildin'. There's too many of these niggas. What the fuck they mean?
What you mean?
That's
Yeah.
a fact.
Politics and
I'm
bullshit.
back.
Yo, that shit happened to me in
Politics.
jail.
Hold on.
Politics.
Anybody from New
Jail.
York could co-sign what I'm about to say right now. A lot of these bitch-ass Crip niggas, and I'm calling all you bitch niggas out who fall in this category. Y'all go up north, y'all go to motherfucking Juma every Friday, and y'all wear red the whole bid y'all on. You
That's a
niggas
fact.
know what I'm talking about.
That's crazy.
You niggas got red hoodies, red hats, and
That's
Juma.
crazy.
Don't tell nobody you Crip. But then
Yeah.
when you come home, you got a war story.
That's a fact. You know why I respect y'all brothers? Y'all were Crip when nobody wanted to become Crip.
Yo,
That's a
listen,
fact.
only Crip jail in New York State. I went up north. I got locked up in 2000.
Where it was only green.
Green. The Bloods took over that.
That was right, the one right across from Katsaki.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a fact.
The Bloods took over that now. No, I'm lying. Who took over the Green, really? They from the city.
Right,
The
right now,
YGs
who got
and the
green?
YBs.
Right
took
now, who
over
got green is
took
the
over
Latin
Green.
Kings and the Crips.
But see, the Lion King, if we gonna speak, we gotta speak facts
they're
to
shaky
deter these
because-
young niggas from making the decisions we made.
That's a
A
fact.
lot of Latin Kings up north, and this is no disrespect to no Latin Kings, but I don't know no other way to put it. Y'all ride the Blood's dick up north.
That's
They
a
call
fact.
y'all sisters, and you niggas scream 5 all day long.
That's a
Them
fact.
niggas don't respect y'all. Like the Bloods call the Latin Kings in New York State prisons sisters.
That's a fact.
And these niggas co-sign these niggas. Who's popping 5? These niggas don't even like you, bro.
Only thing I like about them is that when if they're in a house full of Crips, they with the Crips, or they're in a house full of Bloods, they with the Bloods.
Now I'm gonna tell you what I don't respect about New York State prison, and it's one thing and one thing only. I'm not gonna put what the definition of it, but everybody in this chat, I'm sure, who on the screen know what I'm talking about. If you in New York State prisons and you get that bag, you could turn anything. I know Crip niggas that killed 1,000,000 Bloods, caught 25 to life. He in Albany County Jail, he getting that bag. He 3-star Miller? How? I know niggas went up north as a trade, neutral. I'm Latin King, I'm Blood now. And the Bloods go against each other up north. If I'm the big homie and I got a nigga that get in that bag and I'm not sharing it with my other homies, nigga, now we at war. There's no loyalty, there's no unity in gangbanging no more. So if you think about gangbanging in 2021, shoot yourself, bro.
Yeah, that shit wild down, bro.
So fact.
They let
Up
these
north-
rap niggas,
Up
they let
north,
R&B niggas.
everything is
claim
motivated by the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, we could go to the yard and smoke a stick, and if y'all don't know what a stick is, it's a fucking fake ass J of weed, nigga, that's skinnier than a spider leg.
It's like less than a trade bag.
Like, nigga, if you ever seen a Cisco bag of sugar, you get half of that, nigga, that's a quarter sack. Niggas will kill you over that.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Nah, come on, Smiley, you know I ain't lying,
That's a
cuz.
fact.
Like, this shit is watered down now, like.
Yeah.
That shit y'all see on the internet, in the industry, nigga, that shit is fake.
Yeah, that shit.
These niggas ain't killing nobody and they ain't gonna let nothing die.
Yeah.
Maserati Smooth, what's the good word, man?
Shit, you know me, homie, chilling.
It's my guy up here, man. So I'm glad you popped up here too, because you do have the perspective on the other side too. So I definitely wanted to And I was waiting for my cousin to pop up here, but he kind of got caught up. So listen, one thing we don't have up here is anybody to speak from the blood side, man. So spit your shit, my nigga.
Well, niggas already know. I ain't gonna say too much on the internet shit, but niggas already know East Coast G's, nigga. NYB, New York Blood Nation, my nigga, second generation. I ain't gonna say I'm a big homie, but I am one of the big dogs. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
Like,
Smooth, you've been one of my supporters for a long time, man. So I definitely appreciate
you. Though, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I heard his name before. I keep it 100.
Listen, bro. Listen, I ain't never been to jail. I don't do that prison shit. Fuck all that.
Nah, shit.
I got clean record. I just do my dirt by myself. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But
fact.
I'm second generation blood, my nigga. I've been watching this whole shit the whole time. I ain't gonna front. This shit crazy.
Yo, you know what's crazy about up north though? Like he just said, NYB up north will beef with the UBN.
Mm-hmm.
Like prison is all politics, bro. Like it's just politics.
But all right, so being that Maserati Smooth, you never been locked up before, so we ain't gonna speak on the prison stuff. How do you feel about the whole situation of what's going on? Because I know you in tune with a lot of shit. You in tune with a lot of my niggas, so I know you in tune with a lot of street shit. So at the end of the day, how you feel about this whole situation that's going on, man? Do you feel like it's some shit that needs to be, that don't need to be on YouTube as far as all this back and forth shit? Do you feel like the whole thing is just got so big to where it can't be changed at this point? That's more like the question I'm asking. Because like how we did, right? Let me put it's how like the Crips repping the 6-point star back in the day. Do you feel like the whole blood 5-point star shit got too big to where it's too big to change at this point? Because if you change it in New York, it's a lot of states from all the way to Florida that's gonna have to do it. So that's my question to you.
One, all right, I'm gonna put it to you like this. A lot of niggas don't understand, bro. Riding the 5 means a totally different thing on the East Coast, bro. A lot of niggas don't even understand that. See, a lot of motherfuckers don't even do their history or their research, my nigga.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you do your research behind the 5, bro, it's bigger than the nigga y'all ride the 5. Nah, nigga, how you ride the 5, bro? You don't even know what the fuck it mean. Because technically, a lot of niggas don't even know riding the 5 is bigger than blood, my nigga. Because ain't no nigga bigger than blood and ain't no nigga bigger than the B, homie. And I don't give a fuck what anybody say. I don't give a fuck what status you got. I don't give a fuck what kind of rims you got, nigga. None of that. Same shit with Crips shit, my nigga. It don't matter how much rims you got, what status you got. Ain't nobody bigger than that C, homie. Regardless. If you think you bigger than the C, my nigga, take your ass somewhere else. If you bigger than the B, take your ass somewhere else. But a lot of niggas misrepresent the 5 because, a lot of niggas think like y'all ride the 5. And then one thing I always tell people, down south, I got love for niggas. But down south didn't really have the guidance, my nigga. I'm not even gonna hold you.
The East Coast didn't either, cuz. No disrespect, but the East Coast didn't either.
Nah, you right. Listen, you right. You right.
That's my city. And I'm
You
gonna
right.
tell you why.
Listen.
Not to cut you off, but you just said some shit that brought back something to my mind. And you 100% right, yo, Smiley. Let me tell you how this shit used to go in North. The grave chiefs used to rep G's and not C's.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Like them niggas that say I'm grape, I'm not Crip. Like, bitch, finish the sentence.
Like some who
for real. So what he's saying is true because, like, I witnessed it where them niggas like, yo, we G's, not C's, and I'm like, yo, my nigga, this shit don't even this shit don't add up.
Yeah.
But my bad, Maserati, for cutting you off, bro. I just wanted to throw that out before I forgot.
But I can honestly say, even me being a second generation blood, my nigga, we fucked up too. Because a lot of the big dogs that we did have, my nigga, was all locked up. Like I tell niggas, my generation, my nigga, is a generation of the hood hoppers, bro. Because all the big homies we really had, bro, was gone. So you had so many niggas jumping here, and it's like, nigga, what guidance did we have? You see what I'm saying? So
a lot of us ain't had no guidance.
You right. And guess what? It took us for getting older to get that back in order, my nigga.
You're right,
And
Think
but the
about it.
new millennium don't understand
And,
that
hold, and,
part of it.
yeah, and hold on, Groovy. And that's one reason too why we were pissed on earlier too. Why a reason why I applaud the Bloods too, because when shit was getting crazy, y'all told niggas books was closed. Y'all the only gang of niggas in that. I said, fuck that nigga. Can't nobody turn blood until we say books was closed. So if it was a new nigga running around that was talking about they was blood and all that, nah. You see what I'm saying? So that's why, yeah,
He
you
was
know, on
fooled.
that,
That's fact, bro. That's
a
yo,
fact.
yo, Smiley. No, like no cat, bro. I'm not even trying to like put all that out there,
Nah,
but
go ahead. Yeah.
we like when it comes to this B shit, bro. Especially on the East. If we say shit is closed, my nigga. We don't give a fuck about none of that shit, bro. So if you run around, hold on. Yo, Polo Deuce, yo, Too Hard, yo, 170 Problems, homie. You already know, my nigga, Big N. But yo, when we say the books is closed, nigga, that shit closed, nigga. We don't give a fuck who you know. I don't give a fuck if your grandfather's a fucking quadruple OG, nigga. If the nation says it's closed, bro. For the simple fact that it's either we got a rat, a snitch, or we got motherfuckers doing some stupid shit. And nigga, they gotta go.
But in
Us,
prison, they didn't
like,
live by those same rules, and I think that's what fucked it up a little more. Cause in prison, nigga, they could say the books is closed, and nigga, but you get that bag, we can make an exception for you. I don't think that was right.
no, and it's not. It's not.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie though, but they was when that shit. I know I ain't gonna lie. The Bloods on the street because I wasn't in jail when that shit was happening. I was on the street. They was very strict with that shit. Like nigga, books was closed. Like I ain't even gonna lie. Like if you was a nigga that was just from like one of them little smaller gangs that was running with the Bloods, you was trying to turn blood. They wasn't even letting them niggas turn blood. So you know that's why I said it was many a times they try to get that shit under control. You see what I'm saying? But the shit just exploded. Like people outside of New York don't realize how 1 minute there was no Bloods, and then the next minute it was just like thousands of them. It wasn't like hundreds of them and all. It was fucking thousands of them.
Millions.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, like that shit was just like it exploded, my nigga. Like it was no Bloods, then it was thousands of Bloods. Before I even turned Crip, my nigga, I had uncles and shit buying me little red Yankees jerseys and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking around, you know, little young nigga, 10, 11 years old and shit. Yeah, you listen, once again, when you was young at that age too, for the first couple of years, you didn't know nothing about no Crips. You see niggas walk around red flags and all that. Yeah. I mean, I'm talking about New York. I'm talking about New York.
Nah.
I'm talking about New York.
Almost died on 3rd Avenue, nigga. My older brother fake money murder. Like the fuck? Them niggas wanted to kill me because I ain't know what the fuck I was doing. I thought New York was like Jersey. I got my blue jeans on with my blue shirt. And shit got ugly.
Like I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Like no cat, bro. I be trying to explain to niggas like the East Coast is different, bro. Like I got love and respect for the West Coast, bro. And the one thing I be trying to explain to people is it's like even if I go to the West, bro, I gotta check in on some gangster shit.
Of course, I do too.
And I ain't even trying to say that shit on some pussy shit. I'm saying that because I'm
real. If you know, you gotta check in when you go out west.
You see what I'm saying? But when it comes to this East Coast shit, bro, like I said, my nigga, I'm in tune with everything. So it's like a lot of shit I'm talking about. I be like, damn, son, like I don't really do the internet shit, homie. You know what I'm saying? So
that's some yo smooth, man. Yo, listen, I know you won't do this shit too. I ain't gonna lie. You've been in tune for a long time and you don't pop up on the platforms and all that shit too. So that's why I said I definitely gotta have you. You know, you want to come up here because we don't want it to make it seem like we up here speaking one-sided. Because you know me, niggas be asking me sometimes like, damn, you a Crip nigga. Why you always defending New York blood niggas? It's because I always tell niggas all the time, like, nigga, I got uncles and cousins and shit that's Bloods that been Bloods for 20 plus years. And you can't walk up to these niggas and tell these niggas because they not from LA that they not Bloods. Hell no. All the blood they done shed for that shit.
On the East Coast, we don't respect. Just because we not from Cali, you can't tell niggas we ain't gangbang. Niggas done died for this. niggas got niggas doing life for this. You can't tell me your gangbanging is more realer than ours. Hell nah.
That's a fact. So when niggas hear me as a Crip nigga talk, talking to other California blood niggas about that shit, they be like, what the fuck is you? But I be trying to tell niggas, it's like, these niggas done put in so much work and what it started from, because a lot of people get the misconception like, oh shit, we watched the movie Colors in New York, Blood started, then Crips started, no authority. Like, that's how niggas be making it seem like, and I be like, that niggas is stupid as fuck. Like, nah, my niggas came from out there, started some shit, with some shit that got mixed up. But for the most part, this is what happened on the Crip side. This is what happened on the Blood side. But once again, y'all shit exploded. Pause. The numbers got way bigger than any numbers I ever seen anybody. Like right now, Crips numbers is fucking like in the last like 10 years done got up. But from 95 to 2000, and I would say probably like three, like the numbers was nowhere near even close enough. So
hey, why everybody be saying GDK like these rap dudes?
That's that Chicago shit, man. We never
That's that
heard that
bullshit.
shit back in the day.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, that's a new shit.
Keep it
So crazy.
100. Back in the day, back in the day, a Crip would have killed you for screaming GDK because we was locked in with the group.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Nowadays it's rooted down. Like, and not back to go on what niggas is saying about the blood sets in New York. You know what I think fucked y'all shit up? Honestly, I'm talking about the structure. None of the business, the structure. There were too many bloods in one area all trying to bang a different set. And y'all all had like different rules and different guidelines. And I just feel like a lot of niggas probably was forced banging and shit and still fit in with the crowd.
But you know what though? It was definitely certain sets on the Blood side that had way more structure than other sets. Like, and this is just from my experience. I feel like
that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah. Like me, like the three.
Jersey, I feel like it was different cities.
Yeah, it was for sure. Like the
Brooklyn
three.
play.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm from. So the
Brooklyn
three
did
sets
not
I
play.
actually had
Brooklyn
like
killed
familiarity with was like GKB, Non-Trade, and Sex Money Murders, because I used to, I used to live in different parts of the city. So when I was coming up in the 90s, those were the three sets I had main, like interactions with. And out of those sets, the Non-Trade was actually like, they was like the most structured, the most organized. This is my opinion. I could be wrong, this is my opinion. When I looked at them, they had like
it makes sense.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? And it's like GKB was, to me, was like, they was like the wilder set. And when I say by wilder set, like I got a little cousin that's GKB, but I also got a little cousin that's Non-Trade. My little cousin that's GKB,
he's that, bro.
Yeah, he's like the firecracker. You see what I'm saying? He's like he's like the hothead. You see what I'm saying? So where the other one is like, he don't like, if we going into a Crip neighborhood, the non-trade blood cousin, if I be like, yo, listen, man, listen, this ain't no disrespect, but listen, I know we about to go around the lopes, like, do me a favor, tuck y'all niggas flag in. My non-trade cousin probably be tight, but he might be like, all right, fuck it, but we go around the blood niggas, nigga, you gotta tuck your shit in. Fuck it, all right, y'all good. But my GKB cousin, nah, come on, son, I don't tuck my flag in for nobody, son. It be shit like that. And I be trying to tell this nigga, like, son, it don't even be my set hood. It be different other Crip niggas. I be like, nah, listen, man, I don't know these niggas like that. Like, nah, my nigga. So shit like that. So yeah, so it's just like, I feel like, but then it was like Sex Money Murder. Sex Money Murder was like, I don't know. It was back in the 90s, they was more about getting money than they was out there on the streets banging.
That's how it was in North.
Yeah, if that makes sense.
They had the money flags.
Yeah,
because like in North, the first like kind of blood set was GKB. So they was wild how you saying, because they was putting on for blood at that time.
That's a fact, like a motherfucker.
Money Murder was like the first blood set in North that kind of resembled the Crips in the aspect of, they say Crips is known for getting money. Like them niggas was getting money and they was doing them. Them GKB niggas was flipping North upside down.
See,
Yeah, that's a
GKB was
fact.
more
But
of
I'm
a
saying
soft
though,
guy.
with the murder niggas, like they representation ain't too good enough, especially with their big
No,
homie
but
Hop.
that's now. Like back then, them when they first started, them niggas is out there. Nowadays, it's like, all right, and no, like I don't understand all the blood lingo, so I ain't gonna lie. But some of these niggas to me be trying to be like the Crips too much. Let me tell you what I mean. One of them niggas ride around saying was rolacking, nigga. That sounds too much like was cracking. Like what you talking about?
But the
And then it's
blood,
just like,
the Bloods in New York do say was bracket, and they've been using that shit for West Ever. Like the
I
Bloods in New
ain't gonna
York,
hold
though.
you.
I
I
mean,
be
in
saying
California,
bragging a lot.
yeah, they
no,
use that.
yo,
That been like a long
Smiley.
ago. But I hear what you're saying though.
I can't remember this shit, yo, stats. If you remember, tell me what they used to call themselves. Yo, Smiley, I won't lie to you. At one point in time, you had some niggas in North, right?
Mm-hmm.
They was like, I say they fake blood. They used to wear burgundy flags,
Mm-hmm.
like red and blue together, but these niggas was like weird.
Red
Like
and blue. Wait,
gangbanging in Newark like took like a
nah,
weird turn at one
I,
time.
I seen Bloods back in the days like wear burgundy flag shit. I'm not even gonna lie. Even back in the day, I ain't even gonna lie. I used to see Bloods wear brown flags too. You see what I'm
Yeah.
Now
saying?
these
So
Every
niggas was
set
like
yeah,
has a
pushing
different
their
color.
own shit though. It was weird.
yeah. But burgundy, I don't think Maserati Smooth. Is it a problem? I didn't know. I wouldn't look at it like that if I see the bird with a blood with a burgundy flag. Would you?
No, I was
Did,
locked up in a youth house with them, so I knew they was pushing some shit that just wasn't right.
I ain't gonna hold
yeah.
you, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you. The only people that you wearing burgundy is Paru, bro.
It's Pyrus, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Every set got a different color.
But they wasn't Pyru. They was like a homegrown game.
I mean, you know how it
Oh
was
man,
though. In New York, I'm not even gonna lie, especially too growing up, it was weird. Like if you was Crip, I ain't even gonna lie, as a Crip, once upon a time, you would see Crips wear blue, gray, orange, purple. You see what I'm saying? Like you would see
yeah, I
these
remember that.
different,
I remember that.
yeah,
I
you
remember
see
that.
what I'm saying?
That's a
Yeah. So
fact.
it's like, yeah, like I used to wear orange flags, not even thinking that orange was only a Hoover color. I used to wear purple sometimes if it
But
matched.
I'm not
Not
even
even
gonna hold you,
realizing
bro.
it was
Like,
a grape street color. You see what I'm saying? So I mean that happens a lot too. So if it's a
Nah,
blood
these
that wear like a
niggas really
burgundy
was
flag,
pushing some homegrown game. Like it was weird.
yeah. Now I see what you're saying
I ain't
though. I
gonna hold
don't
you,
know.
bro.
You got certain
You a
Yeah.
home
that wear yellow flags.
fucking burgundy. That's a dub, bro.
So you
That's a
know the
straight
first
dub.
time I heard of a homegrown set in New York? Smiley, I'm sure you know the nigga. I can't remember Cuz's name. He from Brooklyn.
Mhm.
He's the originator of the Playground Gangster Crip. We was in Lakeview S Block together. And I'm like, yo, I never
Okay,
heard of no
yeah.
fucking Playground Gangsters.
Playgrounds, yeah, damn, that shit is like that was that was
Nigga,
very
this is
short
like
stint.
2005. I was in a box with Cuz.
That was that was very that was very short stint. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, that was crazy. Damn, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, that's crazy. Now you
Nah,
know
but
what?
he was in prison, so his little homies
Yeah,
probably weren't putting on.
yeah,
But
that's a fact.
I
Smiley, you
never
remember
heard of
HMC?
I mean,
Oh,
homegrown shit till I met him.
what's up, Smooth?
Nah, I said you remember HMC?
You said, wait, hold on, this shit got an echo. HFC?
HMC.
Hold on, your shit got an echo. I can't really hear. Haitian Mafia, yeah. That's a fact. The what? Them motherfuckers was, yo, I ain't even gonna lie. Them was the only Crips I used to see. Them niggas used to use machetes too. The Haitian Mafia Crip niggas. You see what I'm saying? Them niggas used to use machetes too. Yo, that's crazy. I
They
haven't
was
heard
deep
of them
in high
niggas in
school.
mad long, son.
Hey, Groove, you know
Nigga,
about the
fact.
Haitian outlaws?
Yeah,
Them niggas be violent too.
nah, they do though. Like I remember back in North, cause I had got kicked out of West Side High School, and they wouldn't let me go to night school, so I had to go to Weekway. Then I got kicked out of Weekway, so I had to go to Irvington High. I used the old address. Nigga, we used to beef with the Haitian niggas all the time. It's crazy. In high
Yo,
school, even I was Crip at the time, but in my high school in Irvington High, anybody from Jersey know about this gang. They was a lot of them was like Trinidadian and shit like that. They was forming them, but it was junglers, true warlords.
That shit
And
crazy.
we used to beef with all the Haitian niggas. And it's just like, yo, some of these niggas' names don't even sound like they go together and shit. Like, the fuck, who named you, nigga?
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, nah,
But now
Polo
we used
Deuce.
to
I ain't
beef
even gonna
with
lie.
some
You know what it
Haitians.
is? The Flatbush. Flatbush is like a very a dangerous place. I ain't gonna lie, especially back then too, and like the '90s going up into like the like the 2000s. Like it was very weird too, especially like the UKs. They used to wear purple flags too. So it was like running around like you had. That's why when people talk about as far as Corey King being like a only like flat, one of the Flatbush Bloods, it was because Flatbush was crazy. That was like a very predominant like Crip area because a lot of the regular gangs that was over there ended up turning Crip. So it was Flatbush was fucking crazy at one time because you got so many different like islanders that's from there and mad different nationalities that's over there. So yeah, shit was crazy back in the day of Flatbush too. But you're right though, mad Haitians is rolling 30s from Brooklyn.
You know why I never
Because
understood Brooklyn? Brooklyn got too many projects that's banging something different and shit. I say, yo, this shit crazy.
yeah,
Yeah,
Nigga,
you
the
know what's
first time
crazy?
I came to Brooklyn, nigga almost motherfucking cut my TV off.
Hell yeah. You know what it is in the projects? Half of the projects blood and the other half is Crips.
Now, you know
Yo, I
what the
ain't gonna
problem
hold you.
with
I
us
never
North
understood that
niggas?
shit.
Us North niggas felt like we was the toughest gangbangers in America. We felt we could go to anybody's hood and it was okay. Now, for real though, like I never knew nothing about New York. I come to New York, nigga. I'm trued up on a motherfucking train and niggas looking at me crazy. I'm like, the train? Like,
yeah, nah, what? Trains was dangerous back in the day,
like you
man.
know,
That's
all
a
right.
fact.
I'm gonna tell you with Brooklyn, if you want to say what's like Newark in Brooklyn, I would say downtown Newark. That's where the Bloods took over at the shopping area. We had an
Yeah.
arcade, nigga. They used to be all outside that bitch. Couple years later, they start putting the police out there on horses.
Damn,
Like
yeah, that's crazy.
niggas would go to the shopping area to promote violence. Like my nigga, what the fuck?
You know what's
That's
crazy
that.
is now downtown Brooklyn is flipped. Now it's flipped now. Now when you go downtown Brooklyn, you see mad Crips down there.
That's a
I
fact.
don't even get it. But back in the day, that was Death Valley zone. It was certain places you didn't go to. Like on
Especially out
Pickens
in Square
Avenue.
Mall.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. You for
Yo, you
Crips,
know
if
what I
you
go
had
to
the shot,
Brooklyn for? I
what?
give Brooklyn props for one thing. All y'all mother now, besides the homies I know out there, we ain't gonna get into that, but y'all food carts, nigga,
said the food
that was the
carts.
first time I ever had spicy chicken over rice, bitch. I was hooked. I was coming back every week just to go to the
Yeah,
food
it's
cart.
crazy.
Yeah, that nigga's
Like,
crazy.
y'all
Hey,
food carts is lit. And North, nigga, we ain't got too many food carts. In the summertime, we got fruit carts at Weekway Park. They selling watermelons and shit, but food carts? Hell
yeah.
no, we ain't have that. We got chicken shacks everywhere though.
Your cousin, I thought you was gonna pick up the people. You picked up the food.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
no,
saying?
like, don't get me wrong. Being in prison, like, and this was years after I got cut. Like, niggas like, yo, bro, a stand-up nigga. He gonna bang what he bang, but he not disrespecting nobody. So I got a lot of niggas I fuck with from Brooklyn. My nigga Styles, motherfucking, I got a lot of niggas I know from Brooklyn on both sides. Styles is blood too. My nigga Young Reg from Kingsborough Project. Like, I know a lot of niggas, but my street interactions in Brooklyn, I was always about to get my TV cut off because niggas felt I was being too disrespectful.
And the crazy is Isaiah
But the
Rogers. I was
food,
just about to mention that shit too. Broadway Junction was like a death trap. If you was a Crip and you get caught at Broadway Junction back in the day, I ain't even gonna lie. What? Nigga, that long
yeah,
ass
let me tell you
escalator?
how dumb I was, cause I was like, I was a little nigga. Well, I was a teenager, but I met this one bitch. I forgot what chat line it was back then, but she was blood. She from Brooklyn. But she fell
Yeah.
in love with a nigga. So she
Yo,
like, yo, come to my house.
They sell roll up in the they sell roll up in the Chinese restaurants in
Nigga,
Jersey.
in North, you could get rolled up. Nigga, in North Chinese stores, you could buy Heineken beers.
Oh, that's shit.
That's
That
crazy.
shit crazy.
Yo, it's not in the cooler. You know the cooler that they keep like the homemade iced tea is not in there.
Yeah.
They got like a freezer. They got a freezer that don't freeze. And then you could go get a Heineken after hours. Like, in North, them Chinese stores is motherfucking scandalous. Fuck you talking about?
Yo, that shit is crazy.
Back in the day, nigga, they only sold Phillies. You know, them shit burn too quick. Niggas don't want that.
That's a fact. That's
But
a
let me
fact.
tell you how fucked up North was. Cause I was 13 years old going into the liquor store. Now I'm gonna tell you, every Crip nigga originally from North that started banging at a young age, that started drinking, we didn't drink liquor at first, nigga. We drunk beer. Bud Light, we used to call it Cuz Light. We used to get the deuce. Now we get the deuce bottles. You know, we got the blue cap. We have been that shit in half and put it on our braids or our dreads. So everywhere we went, niggas knew we was crippin'.
Yo, that
like
shit
at 13, niggas was buying alcohol out liquor stores in North. North ain't shit.
Word up.
Then we
That shit
start
is crazy.
stealing cars because New Jersey Drive was the shit, nigga. We go to high school every day in stolen cars.
I be trying to tell niggas they based that movie off of real Jersey niggas' lives,
Hell
my nigga.
yeah.
That's
That was before Truancy came out. When Truancy came out, nigga, Truancy, you had about 6 black niggas jump off a motherfucking long yellow school bus chasing your ass, nigga. They gonna take you to the police station and call your mother.
Damn, that shit is crazy. So listen, man,
Truancy
I'm not even gonna lie. It's almost about that time. I got to get ready for work. We've been on here for 2:30. So this is what I want y'all to do before we go. I want y'all to let everybody know where they can find y'all at, whether it's on social media. If y'all even want to let people know where to find y'all at, just let me know. We'll start out with you, Groovy Slim.
Man, you know Groovy Slim. On the net, you can catch me at motherfucking on the gram is _medicine, all capital letters. On the book, it's the best you never had.
That's a fact. Maserati Smooth, you want to? I might know the answer to this already, but you want to let people know where they can find you at?
Hell nah, he don't want to be found.
yo, Slim, you funny as hell, dog. Nah, yo, Slim. Nah, for the homies on here though, y'all niggas want to find me? Hit me on the gram, nigga. My name is official Damu _general. So I'm letting you know right now, nigga. Don't click on my page with that funny shit.
That's a fact, man.
I ain't on that.
Not you. Nah, he wasn't talking about you. He's talking about to the people out there in general. To the funny
man, you know the trolls is on your ass.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah, nigga, listen, they will get cursed the fuck out all the way, my nigga.
That's a fact, man.
I don't entertain trolls who don't got no face. I can't argue with you.
Yo, Slim, no cap, my whole family Crip, bro.
He ain't lying, my nigga.
Yo,
not lying.
My older brother, Blood, he still sex, money, murder from back in the day, nigga.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie about nothing, nigga. One of my best friends is Blood. He bounty hunter.
Yo,
man.
Both my brothers, OG Hoovers, the other 130s, and the other one is I got you. I definitely got yo Slim. Hit me on the gram though.
You said Damu _general?
Nah, official
Damu
_general.
Official
Damu _general. Yo, one of my moderators, put that up in the chat real quick, man. Official Damu _general.
Nah, I'm gonna write that shit down. I got a pen somewhere.
Yeah. Or if not, if you can't find it, look up.
I can't forget that shit. I know how to spell all that.
Yeah. That's
right after this. Yo, Maserati, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, dog.
Nah, when I hit you, I don't got no picture as my profile, nigga. But once you click on it, you're gonna see pictures of me, my sister, my daughter, and all. Like you're gonna see it's real.
Me neither, bro. I ain't got no picture up neither, so I know it's you.
Yeah, nah,
I
bro.
got no picture neither.
I got my daughter, my sister, everybody on my shit, nigga. You know what I mean?
I got you, bro. Yo, I'm off of this, bro, because I'm out to work. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm running late.
Yo, I appreciate yo,
Get
me
to that
too. That's why
bag.
I got the what's the name too.
Yo,
Yes,
Smiley,
sir.
you bullshitting, cuz you better get to that bag, nigga. This shit ain't paying though.
Yeah. Nah, this is paying too. You know how that go. This
Nah, I
paying too.
said
But
ain't paying enough.
Nah, that's a fact. We definitely about to get to the full bag. But Gotti Savage, you still there?
Yes, sir.
Yo, you want to let the people know before we get up out of here?
Find me on Stats 280, Big EBK Vibes, or Dirt Gang TV. I want to say rest in peace. My brother-in-law, he just passed away. Sour B Rose, Big Watts.
Yo, is Gotti and Stats the same person or they different?
Nah, Gotti Savage and Stats is two different people. Gotti Savage is
Nah,
definitely.
because I'm like, yo, Stats ain't motherfucking telling niggas how to find him.
Yeah, nah, but I'm about to what's the name though too, so I got him too. So Popcorn, y'all can definitely subscribe to Popcorn. He got a YouTube channel. Just look up Popcorn. His emblem is literally the box of popcorn sitting up there too. The Stats 280. Nah, Stats. You literally just punch up Stats 280. You know what I'm saying? Stats 280. You can find him on YouTube. You can punch up.
Hold on, I'm lost.
Well, you good?
I thought Gotti Savage just said he Stats 280, cuz.
Nah. Stats 280 was the other one, the great from Jersey that you was up here talking to earlier. Yeah, nah, Gotti Savage is different. They both of their avatars kind of went out. That's why they both was looking like that. But yeah, man, y'all definitely don't forget to go subscribe to Stats 280. A lot of dope content up there. We're gonna continue to run the numbers up on there. This is your boy Harlem Smiley. You have been tuned in to the one and only Dirt Gang TV. You know the slogan. You can't get this money when you in there sleep on the couch. It's impossible, man.
Drop a new song for me, guys. I need you to.
Yeah, nah, I even go a lotto too. We got another one. I'm gonna do a whole nother live tonight. We're gonna talk about this Bobby Schmurder coming home, and I'm gonna play a little bit of the
hold on. Let me say something real quick. Free the motherfucking Schmurder be home in the motherfucking morning, nigga.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. So
real niggas stand tall, 10 toes down. Niggas don't snitch, niggas don't fold, niggas don't know nothing.
That's a fact. So we're gonna talk about that, play some music. Man. And we're gonna play some Bobby Schmurder songs.
See Rowdy turning up too now.
Yeah, he doing his thing. He's doing everything perfect. Good.
I want to give credit to one of your Brooklynites who's also the homie. But if you watch what he did, you can see his number love. And I'm screaming out Fetty Luciano. You already know, cuz.
That's a fact.
You see how since Rowdy was coming home, cuz took the cag seat to him.
That's a fact.
Like Rowdy, you a lot of niggas ain't moving like that. Listen, this for all you young niggas. If the team don't eat, you ain't never gonna win.
That's a fact.
Your brother gonna cut your TV off because he can't live like you. You gotta make sure the team eat, but you gotta eat the right way. This trolling internet shit now, put out quality content and you a grind. Stay the fuck out the streets. Don't start gang banging in this new millennium, nigga, because you're going nowhere. If you get life, you ain't never gonna get a package. You ain't get no pink slip. You ain't gonna get no visits. You can think I'm lying, but I'm just trying to guide you in a different way.
That's definitely well said, man. And definitely the good ending. So we gonna end it right there, man. Groovy Slim, y'all make sure y'all tune in. Listen, man. Yes, sir. It's your boy Harlem Smiley, one on the Dirt Gang TV.
I'm gonna tap in with you later, cuz. Hard.
Yo, yes, sir. Hard, boy.